everybody. Good morning, actually, to the fans of the best team in Major League Baseball, and to those fans early only. I'm talking to you, San Diego Padres fans. How about that? Our beloved Padres. After a very long and grueling season, Ben, the best team in baseball as we sit here today. Feels so good. Welcome in, everybody. You're listening to Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. My name is Woodsy. That is Paul Reindl. He's the executive producer of the program. Good morning, Paulie.
It's the best team in baseball.
Yeah.
A win last night.
Yeah.
No guttural
No, I'm
string.
going to save it. I'm going to start doing it for series wins or sweeps. I can't do it after every. Well, I mean, I can't. Yeah.
There we go.
It hurts a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I did like the win last night. Very, very much. Enjoyed that game immensely. To my left is Benjamin R. Higgins, your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Good morning to you, Benjamin.
Good morning.
I'm in a weird spot here because I am in here and I'm looking at you guys and you're both wearing khakis on the same day. And I don't know what's happening right now. You have a work function, Ben, yes?
I just have work.
Yep. Right, work. Sorry.
It's not really a work function. It's just work.
It's just work.
It's now my new schedule where I just go straight from here
Just work to work.
to my TV job. So I have to look somewhat presentable as I will need to be on camera at some point during the day.
Paulie, you're in khakis as well. You look like you have somewhere to go as well. Just felt like dressing up.
Wearing pants.
All right. All right.
Khakis aren't really any special kind of pants.
They're just ABC pants.
They're
Are
just
they?
a light colored pant.
I feel like if
You wear dark pants usually.
I wear
I have some light pants like that.
99% of the time at work, I'm either wearing black joggers
Mhm.
or white, they're bone ABC pants.
You look like you're going somewhere. That's what I both of you look like semi-dressed up, fancy. Are you guys going somewhere without me? You got a
No,
lunch
I'm not
plan?
going
You look like you're
anywhere
going
without
somewhere.
Well, I'm going to the gym. I got my tights on.
I did go somewhere. I went to work.
I got my tights on and I got shorts and I got a sweatshirt on, which is about standard for me on gym days. I wear the tights in the gym, yes, for compression, but because my legs are very skinny and they are very white. They're as white as your pants. And when I go to this gym that's full of meatheads with very tanned, shaved, tattooed legs, I feel insecure.
That's a very modern millennial, the shaving of the legs now.
Oh, no, it's been going on forever.
Well, swimmers used to do it, but really, and bodybuilders,
yeah.
but just regular people now, regular
Yeah.
guys shave their legs more commonly.
I have known people that have shaved their arms and legs for years to give their better definition. I don't have hairy legs anyway, so it looks like I do, but I don't. I do have creamy, milky white legs, though, and they're very thin.
See, now, if you don't let them have any sun, they're always going to stay creamy, milky white. You have to, at some point, just bite the bullet, wear shorts for a few weeks, and let it get a little color.
It's like
your face isn't creamy, milky
No.
white. You've got some color there.
Yeah. I've been out in the sun a lot,
Yeah.
coaching and whatnot. But man, it's the contrast is so stark when you walk. If you walked out to the baseball field last night, and I was coaching my kids in shorts, you'd gone, the first thing you would have looked at, you're like, oh, wow, is this guy like a heroin addict? He never leaves his house. This has got all creamy, milky white legs. So when I go to this gym, I'm already insecure because every guy in there is just yoked. And all the girls are in panties and bras working out. And you're just like, oh God, please just get me through this. Please let me get through this. So I like to call them, Fernando wears them and Jackson Merrill wears them when they hit and stuff. So I'm like, all right, if baseball players are doing it, I can do it. So I get very insecure about it. And so I wear those to the gym.
They say compression's good for blood flow and circulation.
For sure. For me, it's just to hide my white legs. That's really it. I'll be honest with you. But every guy in there, man, is like the shorts, they ride way up and they all have tats all over their legs. And all their legs are shaved and defined, and their arms are all shaved. And I'm like, where am I? What is happening right now?
Remember when you saw a guy with a tattoo and you thought, oh,
what a badass.
That is.
I know.
That is hard core.
Yes.
Now my wife has sleeves on both of her arms. It's just so common now.
It's very, very common.
I feel weird that I don't have one. I feel like maybe I need to get with the party at some point. I don't want to, though, because I don't like needles.
I would do anything for you to get a tattoo. Anything.
I don't want to get a bad one because you regret, yours.
Mine's terrible. It's terrible. But also, I feel like at 50, do I really want to go down this road? You know what I mean?
That's why I feel the same way now.
Do I really want to
the
start?
ship has sailed.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I missed my window.
It looks good when you have good, tight, young skin, but they only get worse looking as you get older and your skin starts to sag a bit. So
my skin's
this is a
sag.
really bad time to maybe start on that road.
No, you're right. You're right. But I do it because I'm insecure, and going there it makes you insecure. And I don't like working out in jogging pants. It's too warm kind of. So it's not as comfortable as this is. Now it's still a weird look because I am wearing tights. I'll be honest. These are in fact tights. I'm wearing tights.
A ballet dancer.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So it's so that's why I'm doing it. You guys look nice. It's you guys both look very nice. But then you look like you're headed to Easter service right now. I mean, you look like you got khakis and a light blue shirt on. It looks like you're
pastel.
Today. Yeah.
It's spring.
It's
spring. Spring colors today.
Paulie looks fantastic.
Going to spring football practice later at San Diego State. So spring wear.
You're going to spring football practice at San Diego State today.
I am. For my story.
Oh, well, I was going to say, why?
I'm meeting the new general manager of the SDSU football program, the guy from Notre Dame, Caleb Davis. Yes. Going to talk to him for a story
about general manager.
I know.
It's so weird.
The new bit.
Got this week, they're doing the big house settlement in NCAA that's going to change the finances again, with all the NIL as well. It's a new world, and we're going to learn a little bit more about it from the guy that's in charge of that now at San Diego State. Caleb Davis came over from Marcus Freeman's program and see how he's doing things at San Diego State.
I'm actually intrigued.
Thank you.
Will you ask him? Tell him hello from the program. Tell him go Irish. And then will you see if he can introduce us to Marcus Freeman?
Probably has his number.
His number. Would love to interview Coach Freeman at some point. Hey, great to meet you. Glad you're here. I would like your old boss's number more, though, so that we can just tell him I'm a big fan. I would love to interview him. That'd be a lot of fun.
We've never even had his new boss on the show.
That's true. Yeah, never had his new boss, Sean Lewis. We asked for it, and San Diego State informed us he will not be appearing on your show.
Happens a lot.
Why would you need us to help promote that football program that's already so robust? And the crowds are so robust, you wouldn't ever need a big morning show to help you guys promote. I mean, if you guys are satisfied with selling 1,300 tickets, I can't help you. All right. So, but hey, you know me, always willing to let bygones be bygones, always willing to help out when I can. Mr. San Diego's concierge, and they don't use me. The only people in town, in fact, that don't use me for something, the San Diego State football team, but they've got it covered. They're fine. They don't need us. So we've never talked to his boss. It'd be really funny to talk to his old boss before we talk to his new boss. I'd be in for that. I really want to interview Coach Freeman.
I know you're kind of somewhat obsessed with Coach Freeman. I'm such
a fan of his. Man, he's a great guy. Great guy. Great coach. I really want that. So we'll see if we can get that done.
I will. I'll put in a request.
Okay.
My guess is I'm not going to get the old,
pick your
sharing of the phone number.
Pick your moment, though. Like, pick your moment.
Impress him first.
Should I just go straight to Notre Dame and try to get Marcus Freeman on?
Yeah, I mean, we had Dabo Sweeney on.
Yeah.
We had
Ed Orgeron on.
Yeah,
Ed Orgeron. These are all national championship winners.
They like to recruit in Southern California.
Yeah, we had 2 national championship coaches. Like, I don't know, within a couple of weeks of winning the championship, before we had talked to Rocky Long. It was, put it this way, it was easier for us to get Dabo Sweeney on the show less than a month after the national championship.
After Natty, he won it.
Than it was for us to get Rocky Long to call in.
Correct.
So,
John Lewis has eluded us now for a while. It's fine. You don't need us. You're good.
We also stopped asking.
Well, yeah. Why would I continue to ask when I have had my wrist slapped every time I've asked?
Somebody would.
Well, somebody keeps asking over here. You would still have him on.
I don't know. I mean, there is
what would you possibly have to talk to Sean Lewis about today?
Persistence pays off. I don't think we'd want to have Sean Lewis on today.
Or in September even.
But maybe right before the season starts would be nice to
We
talk
tried.
to him.
They said no, we're not interested in you.
But you could try again this year. You don't always do you always quit after you get a no answer every single time, and then you just say, okay, no, I'm not going to ask
anymore.
Not
the first time, but after 10 requests.
10 requests. I'll say, I'm at my limit. I'm not going to. Now that, remember how I flipped it last time and I said, hey, listen, now the answer will always be no. Will always be no. We tried. We did our very best. We put our best foot forward. We always try to put our best foot forward. But if you don't want us, I'm not going to kowtow for an interview. I'd rather interview Marcus Freeman.
Jay says go get Cajun Brian Kelly. Done.
Cajun Brian Kelly would be the world's most elite interview.
Maybe we just go out and get all the top
every
coaches in NCAA football.
It's our coaches roundtable with Ben and Woods. I would do it just to be a D. I really would. I'd be like, these guys don't.
And let's be honest. This is really your point would be just to be kind of a thorn in their side now.
Correct.
They annoyed you by not.
They didn't annoy me. They insulted me. It was insulting. He will not be appearing on your morning show ever. Oh, all right. What do you need us for? People don't like us.
Now imagine going to San Diego State and how conflicted you would feel.
Oh, I know. Yeah, but Paulie is like, Paulie loves the basketball team. Paulie hates the football team because of how they've treated poor Ben and Woods. Over here just trying to help. That's what we do. Just trying to help. Anyway, good luck with your interview today, sellout. Have fun.
Well, I try not to.
Scab.
I try to separate the two jobs. And, I think this is an interesting story, as you agreed with. A GM coming from Notre Dame and the changing face of college sports is kind of an interesting story this week.
No, I mean, I love Notre Dame. I'd never heard of them, so I didn't know who the general manager was. I know that
he was their recruiting coordinator.
No, our recruiting coordinator got swiped by USC, and he was really good. He was like and now he's just been running mouth the whole time. So it's kind of fueling that rivalry. But that's more college football than I ever expected to talk on April 8th.
True.
For sure.
This early? Yeah.
This early on April 8th. But I hope you have a great interview.
Thank you.
Sell out. And don't forget your boys over here as you sell out today and go talk to the enemy. What are you going to have lunch with Hacksaw too or on your way? Maybe stop getting
the enemy. What is he, the enemy? We get so much material from him over the years. You kind of really should thank him at some point.
You got a problem.
See? Finalist in the tournament of drops.
Club Pilates.
You should pen him a warm thank you letter.
Kendry Morales with a home run. Vladimir Guerrero had key hits along the way. And the Angels batting order just, wore out the Red Sox pitching staff.
That nut skin in his throat gets me every time an old jar of Planters peanuts right next to his mic. I guarantee you. And he reached in right before the break, and then that little tiny piece of nut skin.
I know that feeling.
Stuck in the back of his throat, and he's like, "I'm gonna do the sports break," and he just fights through it. Dude.
You just heard the best 15 minutes of radio.
It's funny. I can hear in the background. I know he's at Trophies, which was the old sports bar and grill down in Mission Valley. He used to do a show there every week, and when you hear the diners in the background.
You just heard the best 15 minutes of radio.
He's doing a live broadcast again from the old Trophies in Mission Valley.
I love that.
It's a good spot.
I love that nut skin, man. The nut skin drop gets me every single time.
Finally, the chance for somebody to get on and do some good sports talk radio.
Indeed.
Imagine our show without that content.
I am so glad we have it.
Sitting here talking college football in April.
Yeah. Listen, we'll have a great time today, Benny.
Thanks.
You and Saw just chopping it up, then off to meet.
I got to fill my time.
Sean Lewis.
I'm exiled from my home. Big giant termite tent on
Saw
it now.
Your tent, dude.
My tent. I got the circus has come to town, and the big top
is the meth circus is coming to town.
It's now on my house.
Potentially.
Hopefully, it all goes smoothly, and the termites will be gone as of tomorrow evening.
Okay, that's good. And how has it been sleeping in the Corona Cave?
So I actually slept in the main house for the first time in probably 25 years.
Oh, that's wild.
Because my kids are in the Corona Cave, and I didn't really want to live with the kids.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you even a little.
So I slept.
So they have their own room.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, they get.
Who got the big room?
I don't know. That was a them decision.
Probably
I just kind of let them be in their house. They brought their
it.
computers and all their stuff. So yeah, they're living down in the Corona Cave, and I slept really in my old bedroom essentially. Now it's been completely redone since I last was there 25 years ago, but it was weird sleeping in the house where I lived for about 6 or 7 years when my parents moved there when I it's in high school essentially.
Are there any remnants of like
nothing really at all
of like your high school? I don't have that either.
No, I'm sure my mom has them somewhere.
No, but like nothing on the wall.
Nothing on the wall. It's all a nice, guest room for, real adult guests now. There's nothing.
There's pictures of rolling hills on the wall and floral patterns and all kinds of stuff.
It's like a hotel room.
It's a hotel room. I never had that room to go home to. Never. My parents would move. They moved so much. My mom would always, let's get this house and this house. So I never had like
nostalgia to go back to the house.
Back to the old neighborhood.
But so I go back to the house all the time, but it's only 5 minutes from my house, so there's no reason to ever sleep there.
Yeah,
I'd always
true.
just go back to my own house. So I haven't slept in my parents' house in a quarter of a century.
People are salivating for an update on the safe. Kim, I know you're listening. If there's any update on the safe, we're going to need it ASAP. We get asked about it every single day. Ben's mom found a floor safe in her parents' house, and they're trying to get it opened right now. A floor safe buried in the ground in Hollywood or in Beverly Hills.
Brentwood.
But it's not opened yet, right?
No, I don't believe so. I will I'm probably get a text during the break.
Okay,
so
good.
If I have an update, I will share. I know she's planning on it, but it wasn't like one of those overnight things. You got to like schedule in advance.
Yeah, you got to schedule it.
Find the right. Difficult to find someone.
Kim, if you're listening, I'd like you to make this a top priority ASAP. All right, please, let's get this thing open.
All right, let's.
We can't string this along for that much longer.
People are going to forget. They're going to get mad at us. I need an update ASAP.
Let's take a quick timeout. We'll set the menu, get ready for some Padres talk after another win, as Woods mentioned. Padres, owners of the best record in all of baseball through 11 games of the season. So we'll have plenty to get to. An NCAA championship game last night as well. Got to watch that with my dad. That was fun. We will talk about it when we come back. First check of traffic with Kelly Danick, and then Ben and Woods for a Tuesday on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
First, gang, let me tell you about this giant jug that sits right next to me every morning that before I leave the house, I fill with the world's greatest water. It's Eco Water. You hear a lot about Eco Water on this show. Got the folks from Eco Water coming out today. They have not been back to my home since they installed my unit, and they are coming out to just make sure everything is going well. That was their customer service is incredible. I just kind of called them and said, hey, it's been over a year. You guys want to come out and take a look? They said, absolutely. Have you had any issues with it at all? I said, literally not one issue. My family loves it so much. So check out Eco Water today. So it doesn't only taste good, make your hair and skin feel better. The hard water is really tough on your pipes. If you had to do a total home repipe, it's about $24,000. So Eco Water SoCal, been keeping water soft since 1925, and they're the best in the business, and it tastes so very, very good. Also, clean water deserves clean air. Eco Water SoCal has state-of-the-art purification that removes 99.99% of pollutants. So now we got pure water, fresh air, and a happy family. Thanks to Eco Water SoCal. If that sounds good to you, you can get a free in-home water test today. Try the Soft Life and alkaline water for only $9.95 a month. You will 100% taste the difference. 760-350-3338, 760-350-3338, or go to ecowatersocal.com. Let them know Woodsy sent you. Not everything in life should be hard, especially your water. Keeping it soft since 1925.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Or the no doubt one better, Ben, this song.
Ooh,
It's My Life. I like this one
I
better.
like this one too.
I do too. I like this guy's voice. It's a jam.
Which band is this?
Is it
Talk, talk.
Talk, talk, talk. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a jam. They also had another song called Talk Talk. I
They
do
did.
believe. Hi, we're Talk Talk. Here's Talk
I
Talk.
think
There's
there
Talk
was-
Talk by Talk Talk.
I think there was once a Take on Woods category of songs by bands that were the same name as the band name.
Okay, that was definitely in there. then.
Yeah.
Talk Talk.
We have an update on the safe since
Oh.
you wanted to know.
All right, strap in.
Yeah, from my mom. She says the estate sale that they're doing for the house is next week, and the guy that's running it, Tall Rob, says he has a guy. Tall Rob has a guy who's going to be able to do it, and then they will.
Tall Rob.
So should have an answer soon. He says they'll get someone to video the opening of the safe for all the tier ones.
I'm more
to see what's in
fascinated
there.
by the name now.
Can they get Fat Freddy to video the tape?
Does he call himself Tall Rob, or does your mom call him
I
Tall
don't
Rob?
know. My mom's around a lot of tall people. I'm tall. My brother's tall. So
You're
I
not
doubt-
Tall Ben.
I doubt she calls him Tall Rob unless he's like 7'2" or something.
Maybe that's his shtick. Hey, call me Tall Rob. I'll sell your estate for you. Your mom really wrote Tall Rob.
Yeah.
Tall Rob's I talked to Tall Rob yesterday. He's gonna get it done. That's so good. So good.
It's a real
Caitlin said-
I'll get you out of your timeshare vibe.
Kayla said, watch him be the smallest person ever. Hey, I'm Tall Rob. I'll sell your estate for you. A really tiny dude. Megan just said she Googled it.
Tall Rob.
Maybe that's his whole
Estate
shtick.
sale Tall Rob. So hopefully in the next week or two.
Tall Rob's estate sales. Yes. That's so good.
How does someone's height have anything to do with their proficiency in estate sales.
Hey, it's Woodsy. Welcome to Chunky's Gym. Good to see you guys. Like, maybe you just have to incorporate it in there. That is, JW says, I wonder if he charges extra for floor safes.
Oh, no, it's expensive. Yeah,
He's got to get down lower.
This is not a free service.
He's
no
been
doubt.
on Pawn Stars.
Really?
Yeah.
Also, he's a famous guy. Is he
Only the best.
Is he tall, Paulie?
I can't tell.
Beatrice says he's 7 feet tall. All right, well, makes sense. I do like the opposite nickname. You know, like how you're super tall, we call you, like Shorty or something. Yeah, something like that. I do like that. That was really funny.
That's a very Sopranos-y thing sometimes.
Yeah. Like,
no, he's big. He is
big.
He's big.
Who?
Mr. Bompancero?
Sal Bompancero, a.k.a. Big P word.
All right, here's what we got coming up. Setting the menu. Padres wrap-up of yesterday's 5-4 win over the Athletics in Sacramento. Michael King's performance, Toddy home run, Jake home run. We'll go through all the highlights with Jesse and Tony. Talk about Jackson Merrill's injury. That was a bit of a surprise to fans before the game yesterday.
Yeah.
We had a really, really good NCAA championship game with a really, really ugly ending last night. It's usually sports often goes the opposite way. You'll have a really kind of a lousy game, but it's salvaged in the last minute or two with a great ending, a furious finish, and that's all you remember. This was the opposite. This was like 58 and a half really, really good minutes, and then just a lousy finish, especially for Houston. We can talk a little bit about the college basketball championship game.
But you will never, till the day you die, forget how that ended.
Yeah.
You will
Memorable.
never, ever forget how that game ended because you've never seen this before in a game of that magnitude.
It was
ever.
jarring to
It was
watch.
so jarring, Paulie. It was like watching one car careening towards another car, and you're like, you've got to stop. You hit your brakes. Please, God, hit your brakes. Hit your brakes. Why aren't you hitting your brakes? Why aren't you hitting your brakes? Bam! And then you're like, oh. And if you're a Houston fan this morning, I bet you somewhere in Houston, there's a guy sitting in front of his TV still, catatonic, staring at the television, going, what just happened? Babe, you got to get up and go to work. He's just going, what just happened?
It was the exact opposite of one shining moment.
That's exactly right. It was one dull moment.
Really,
but it was
really
so
bad.
memorable. So memorable.
We will talk more about what happened the rest of baseball yesterday that allowed the Padres to now claim not only first place in the NL West, but yes, the top record in the sport at 9-2 through 11 games of the season. Already had someone in the chat who is trying to bring everybody down and say, this team is not as good as you think. It's overrated, too many flaws. And I don't mind a good sense of realism when discussing my teams. But keep in mind, if you have the best record in baseball, you're doing something right at this point.
And I think his point was they're playing above their capabilities, and that I don't see. If Brandon Lockridge was hitting 750 with 6 home runs right now, I'd go, this is not going to last. But Fernando Tatis is playing well. Manny Machado is playing well. Luis Ariz is playing well. That's what you expected. I expected those guys to help carry this team, and that's what they're doing. They're actually, like, Manny hasn't hit a home run yet. And you know what I mean? Like, they're still winning games.
Now,
so
that's different than me now predicting, because the Padres have the best record in baseball at 9-2, they will finish the year with the best record in baseball. That may be still a stretch at this point, but they deserve what they've gotten so far. They played well. They played up to capabilities, but I don't think way beyond their capabilities.
I don't either.
I haven't even gotten, a ton of great pitching performances from the starting rotation. Bullpen's been fantastic.
They're unbelievable.
But the starting rotation's been so-so. The bottom of the lineup's been so-so to bad.
Yep.
I don't think this team has played above their capabilities in getting to 9-2.
There are absolutely areas of improvement, as there are with every single team, man. So we could talk about it. I've loved watching this team play so far through 11 games.
Of course, it is Tuesday, which means it's an Incorporator Tuesday, and Jesse Agler will join us from our state capital of Sacramento, California, coming up at 8:35 this morning as we chat with the voice of the Padres. Our regular features, DDT, Take on Woods, Reindl Report as well, taking you until 10 o'clock. But when we come back, let's get to the highlights of another one-run win. They're now 4-0 in one-run games. Your San Diego Padres. That is coming up next with Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3, The Fan. All right, speaking of estate sales, sometimes you have to deal with, the business of what happens when you're gone. And if you have some specific wishes that you want left, you need to have a will. You can do that by going to trustandwill.com and answering some simple questions. Just takes about 20 minutes or so. And when you're done, you're going to have legal binding documents that you can store away. And if something should happen to you, your family will know what the plan is when you're gone.
Yeah, Tall Rob's not going to help you with this one. All right. This is Trust and Will. Go to trustandwill.com. Use the checkout. When you check out, use the code FAN, F-A-N. You'll get 20% off and free shipping of your estate documents. Now, the will is great. You need to look at the trust as well, because with the trust, you can avoid probate court, keep your family out of a lengthy, painful, expensive process. All right. So go to trustandwill.com. Use the code FAN when you check out, Ben, to get 20% off.
Always better to have a plan than not to have a plan. And make your plan. Make it now. Have that peace of mind by going to trustandwill.com. That's trustandwill.com.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Before we get to the highlights, what'd you think of that AAA ballpark last night? It was very minor league.
Yeah, it's a minor league ballpark, man. And everyone was selling it. It's their job.
There's nothing wrong with a minor league ballpark.
No, not at all. But it was their job to sell it, and they were trying to sell it. And we're all smart enough to know this isn't a great situation. And my heart has always gone out to the fans in Oakland. And the players and like guys like Mark Kotze, those guys, like our beloved Jessica Kleinschmidt, who covers the team, they've never done anything wrong. They're just there to cover a team or manage a team or play for a team or whatever. There's also a small part of me that's like, okay, the people of Sacramento, that's cool. They get to go out and watch a big league team. Of course, who wouldn't want that? But
really
I think
more the people of San Diego who seem to be at the game last night.
Yeah. A lot of good turnout last night. But, man,
it's a bit of a stain or a black eye for me.
It is. But, like, we just roll through black eyes now for the game. It's just like black eye after black eye after black eye. And you're like, they've just put their head down on this deal. Let this John Fisher do whatever he wanted. And they're just like, la, 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 la. I don't hear anything. Ha, ha, ha. Let's keep selling the ballpark, the experience, how cozy and quaint it is. And that's what they did. And so, look, I don't blame anybody except for John Fisher. He's really the only person to blame.
I was dying when they showed that the clubhouses are behind the left field wall.
That's what Tatis hit on the home run.
Yeah,
that was the whole clubhouse.
His
apparently.
ball is in somebody's pool because it's also in like a neighborhood. Like there's just nothing around. It was so bizarre to see.
So I guess my worry after watching just the game last night and seeing the highlights of the Cubs series earlier is that when it gets hot and they say the wind starts blowing and it can be blowing out there, it's going to impact the integrity of the game.
Sure.
When you have like a week where every score is 19-17, it'll be like,
okay, devil's advocate here. If you're baseball, you're like, yeah, so who gives a S? Like all we've heard for the last few years, we got to get offense up in the game. We're going to get bigger bases. We're going to eliminate the shift. We got to get offense up. Basically, trust me, that's a plus for Rob Manfred.
But last night's game was
baseball.
fine. It was 5-4. There was nothing weird about it. And it served. I'm glad the Padres are going early though, and not in August.
Yeah,
to Sacramento.
Well, but then again, it's like, yeah, our guys got a pitch in it, but we get to hit in it too in August, and you could really, you really pad those stats for sure. But look, I don't know. I think it, like Paulie said, it is a black mark on Major League Baseball, certainly. And the fact that they're just going to let this guy roll through and do what he needs to do to get his team to Las Vegas, where, again, I don't know what the fan support's going to be like in Vegas. I can't imagine it's going to be anything special right now. It's going to take some time, like all teams do, to build up. But, hey, once the game started, I'd forgotten about it. Was like, oh, that's kind of cool, whatever. Seeing the people out on the berm and stuff, I get it, man. I can only piss and moan about it and get on my soapbox so much about it. I think we all have over the last couple of years with John Fisher. It's done. I mean, what are we going to do? It's done. It's done. The damage has been done. I feel terrible for the people of Oakland. They've lost their team. They've lost a lot of their identity. And it's a huge, huge bummer. It's a huge bummer. But I want my team to go and win the next 2 games in that place.
Well, they got the first one. We'll go through the highlights in our wrap-up right after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Hamul Casino. Got a few problems here. Possible brush or encampment fire starting southbound 5 right at the north 163. Smoke visible from the right shoulder. Also, fire crews got the 2 right lanes blocked to take care of vehicle fire north 163 before Balboa. Collision blocking the right lane on northbound 15 just before the 8. Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, where you can play your heart out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. Opening this summer, Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place. Learn more at hamulcasino.com. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
I love winning, man. I love winning. You hear what I'm saying? It's like better than losing.
Miss any of the Padres win yesterday? Ben and Woods didn't.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got you covered with all of the highlights.
Oh, yes.
It's the
Padres Wrap-Up.
Brought to you by Hamul Casino Resort. Things are about to get real with the all-new Hamul Casino Resort with gorgeous rooms and exciting new eats and drinks. It gets real this summer at Hamul Casino Resort, the player's place.
I want to go fast, but I want to go slow, and I want to go deep.
Shadow reaches for this one, pokes it out into shallow center field. Blade charging in, dives forward, can't make the catch. Arise gambled, is going to win his bet. Comes in to score. Natty slides feet first into second with a bloop double to give the Padres a 1-0 lead. Runner on second, 1 out for Cronenworth. Goes after the first pitch. Sends it high and deep to right field. Butler at the wall looking up. It's going to go. 2-run homer, Jake Cronenworth. And 3 straight extra base hits here in the top of the first inning have given the Padres a 3-0 lead. Paradise. 1-0 line over the head of the second baseman, Muncy, into right center field. Lede cutting it off, but not till it gets to the track. Then he bobbled and lost it. That's going to allow Arise to come all the way in and score. And Manny standing at second as the Padres have added on. It's 4-0. 2-1 with 2 outs and nobody on. That's launched to right field. Fernando backed it up. Nothing he can do. Line drive. Home run for Tyler Soderstrom. His second in as many days. And the A's are on the board here in the bottom of the third inning. It's 4-1. 2-2 to Butler. Here's the pitch. Reached for, poked on the ground to short. Bogarts has to go way towards third. Comes up with it. The throw to first is not in time. RBI infield single Lawrence Butler. And now a 1-run game here in the fourth inning. The right-hander deals, and on 2-0, Fernando swings, hits one in the air, deep to left field. You can forget it. All the way out of Sutter Health Park. Pitch to Soderstrom, hit in the air, deep to right field. Fernando back at the wall, measuring it up, no chance. Up over the bullpen and onto the berm. Second homer of the night for Tyler Soderstrom, and once again a 1-run game. Heavyweight matchup. First pitch swung on and popped up into shallow right center field. Lockridge coming on. He calls for it. He makes the catch, and the ball game is over. Robert Suarez, a perfect 5 for 5 in save opportunities to begin this season. And the Padres are in first place here early on in 2025. A 5-4 win over the A's in Sacramento.
I thought Michael was very good. Thought he dealt with a couple close misses early. I thought his stuff was really crisp. Changeup was really good. Sweeper good. Fastball, a lot of bite to it. A lot of soft contact. Soderstrom put the swing on him. Double down the line. That was the only really hard hit balls all evening. I thought Michael threw the ball exceptionally well.
I absolutely did too.
All right, because the numbers would not necessarily tell that story for Michael King's outing yesterday. But sometimes you got to trust your eyes over the numbers. 5 2/3 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, just 2 strikeouts, 101 pitches. But like 6 of those hits were because they got shot off and hit just infield dribblers that no one could get to, or a couple of bloops that got over the head of an infielder into the outfield.
Yep, couple bleeders.
The home run by Soderstrom and maybe one other ball was actually well struck off of Michael King. He was pitching well.
He really was, and you know, missed the benefit of some really, really close pitches. The zone was a little bit all over the place. I think Elias Diaz, I mean, I haven't seen the ump scorecard today, but at least Elias Diaz got absolutely killed on, I think it was 2 first pitches. It was fastballs, and they were 3 balls up and strike 1. So now you go from 1-0 to 0-1. It's totally different. Not that Elias Diaz did much else outside of that. But Michael King was not getting those calls at all. And he let him know as he was walking off the mound after 5 2/3. I thought his defense let him down a little bit as well. Had a couple of Crony booted that double play ball. Manny kicked one. Again, these are
Manny also made a really nice play, and Arise made a great pick on that one. That was terrific.
How do you make that play? Both of them. The pick was outstanding from Luis Arise. But there was a shot. Luis was in a perfect position. There was a shot down to first base, kicked that one in the outfield. Michael King did not get the best version of the Padres defense last night and still battled through 5 2/3, picked up the dub. And he had the Frisbee working. He had the changeup, was getting nothing but soft contact, Benny. Fastball looked good. I thought he spotted it up so well and got not one call, not one single call. They say in ABS, I don't know how much of it's going to change this. I would think a lot.
You can't challenge every pitch, though.
No, you can't challenge every pitch.
There's still going to be, pick and choose your spots if it does go.
Yeah, it's tough. But, I mean, he is – Andy says, is he maybe too nasty for some of the umpires?
I was thinking the same thing. Like the movement just is hard to read by umpires.
It happens.
So you're going to get that sometimes, but ultimately got the job done. Padres for the second straight day score 3 runs in the first inning.
Very happy for Crony. He's hit his 2 home runs this year, both come on breaking ball. So he's hitting the breaking ball really, really well right now, hitting it hard. He's looking better every time he goes up there. You feel a little bit more confident.
Padres go up 4-0. Manny with a couple of RBI doubles. One was a little blooper, and that was a gamble. Good call by Jesse, who said Luis Arise wins his gamble because he was on second base and there was 1 out. Now the book would tell you got to wait to see if it's caught or not. Yeah. Go halfway so you can get back. Arise decided he read it well enough that wasn't going to catch it, and he wanted to make sure he scored, so he went. But if that ball had been caught, and it was within an inch or two of being caught out in center field, would have been a double play to end the inning.
Yep.
Would have been picked off second base. So he won his gamble.
I think it's a risk. That's a fair risk in the, first inning?
You could argue the opposite, though. If it's the first inning, why take any risks at all? You probably the favorite team
score a run. I mean, again,
but you could still score a run by staying at second base and letting the next guy drive you in.
I didn't mind it. Again, it
was right, so I don't mind it at all.
It was going to be a really, really tough play. Blade had to go full extension. I thought he had it, and you know what? I'm actually okay rolling the dice there off Severino. But yeah, the ass out bleeder. From Manny really, really helped get the thing going. And then him later to right field was just outstanding. And then he got robbed of one later, too. He's barreling the baseball. Hadn't hit one out yet. I expect it to come in that stadium sooner than later.
I think Mark Kotsay got burned on one thing. And I was watching the game last night with my dad. And, they signed Luis Severino to be their number 1 guy and workhorse. So he's going to be out there. They want him to pitch deep into the game. But as they got into the 7th inning, and he was going through the lineup all the way through for the 3rd time. And it came up with 2 outs. I don't think anyone was on. And Fernando Tatis Jr. was coming up. My dad and I both have a conversation. We're going, they're going to let him face Taddy again, who absolutely murdered a ball for a single the last time. Just absolutely wrapped. And I go, I don't know that I would let him face Tatis a 4th time here. And my dad goes, he's not going to throw a strike. And the first 2 pitches were way out of the zone. I go, okay, he's just going to work around him and then try to get Arise to finish his 7 innings. But I said on the 2-0 pitch, better not accidentally miss one over the plate because, Taddy's going to murder it if he does. And he missed one right over the plate and it was gone. And it turned out to be the difference in the game. That's the risk you face when you face a hot hitter like Tatis. He's seeing a pitcher for the 4th time who's getting tired later in the game. He risked it, and it burned Mark Kotsay by leaving Luis Severino out there for that one.
Yeah, pretty impressive home run swing by him. And again, you had people tweeting at me last week, Woodsy, I'm really concerned about Luis Arise. And Mike Schultz said, I'm not. And I also said, I'm not at all. He's the kind of guy, he's not going to scratch out a hit and then maybe 2 hits. He will go 4 for 4, 3 for 4. The next thing you know, his average goes from 0.67 on April 1st to 279 on April 7th. A staggering amount of hits in that time. A professional hitter, barreling the ball back. It just utmost confidence in him. If there's one thing that guy knows how to do, it is hit, and he is hitting, and it's been awesome to see.
Another great job by the Padres bullpen. Jeremiah Estrada did give up a solo home run. Advice to Dylan Cease today. Maybe don't let Tyler Soderstrom beat you. He is
really good,
red
man.
hot right now.
Really
The
good.
guy is locked in. Just 23 years old and looking like a potential star for the the Athletics, not Oakland anymore. But everyone else was perfect again. Robert Suarez, 9 pitches to get his 5th save of the season. But now they've used him back-to-back games. So you got Dylan, and I'm sure that's part of the strategic equation. Mike Schultz knows he's got Dylan Cease, who usually can work deeper into games, so he uses his big bullpen guys 2 days in a row, knowing probably most of those guys not available for a 3rd straight day. So he's going to have to go with Cease and, Yuki Matsui or Wandy or, some of the middle guys to try to, close out a game today if they've got a lead again.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those where you absolutely need a big start from Dylan Cease. Needs to go in and give you length and girth like we ask for every time, Ben.
Real quick, another gripe with Sutter Health Park Field Stadium, whatever it's called. Get better technology, better StatCast technology, because I refuse to believe that home run by Nando was only 406 feet.
It looked like 600 feet.
I've always think they underestimate some of the ones that are pulled either to left or right.
He cleared the 2-story.
I don't know that it
clubhouse.
actually cleared it. I thought it did
It hit
on
the top, I think.
It had hit the top
Yeah.
because the guy turned around like he was going to go get it, like it came back. I wasn't sure. I couldn't because it's white and the ball was white. I could not tell exactly where that ball landed. But
He hit
it was
ever-loving
it was murdered. The ball was
S
murdered.
out of the
Yeah,
ball.
he did.
All right, we'll talk more Padres. Jackson Merrill's injury. Update on Joe Musgrove. Good day for Joe yesterday in Sacramento. We'll have all that for you. And get into last night's NCAA championship game and the dramatically bad ending. All coming up in hour number 2 of Ben Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. Congratulations to Paul Reindl. Successfully picked the winner of the NCAA tournament in his bracket.
How about that?
So how much did you win? Did you win the big pool?
No.
Not even close.
I think I finished like 24th.
That's what happens when all the 1 seeds make it. There's a lot of people who probably picked Florida.
There were 23 other brackets that had Florida as well.
I heard I did okay in Scraby's pool that he did, but we don't do it for money, so I don't even check it. This bit of like pride on the air, I'm not doing it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Ben hit me up this morning to do some golf masters picks with Scraby and Ello, and I said, how much? And he goes, nothing, just for pride. I go, well, no.
I texted Ello. I said, we're going to have some money on it.
Yeah, I need the juice.
I said, I'll talk him down to $20, but
20?
Yeah.
Boring.
I just don't want to overcommit those guys in the afternoon.
I'll flip quarters with you right now for $20.
You will.
Let's go. You have a quarter on you right now?
I don't.
All right, come on. I have a nickel.
Flip some cryptocurrency.
All right, $5.
$5?
Heads or tails. You call
hold
it.
on,
Ready?
let me get my $5
Get your
out.
5 out.
All right, here's my 5.
Here we
Your
go.
5. All right, I will call heads.
It is heads. Damn it.
Yes.
There you go.
All right.
Double or nothing.
Fine.
Double or nothing.
All
Here we
right.
go.
Just
All right,
the
here we
10.
go. Here we go.
Double or nothing. What,
No, call. No, give it back. Recount.
This
Give
is
it back to me. All right, I'll get to call it now. You
call
spin it.
All right,
Yep.
All right.
Tails.
Tails.
Yes.
All right. So give me.
All right. Now
No,
I got to
double or
do
nothing.
best
I
out
got
of
my money
3.
back.
You got nothing.
No,
Best
I
out of
got
3
nothing.
back.
You're right.
Yeah,
I'm
you
thinking
got,
of a number
you
between
won,
1
so
and
you get your
100.
money
Get
back.
my money back.
We're good. All right.
See, I need the juice, man. I need the juice. That's what I need. Not a pride. Like, hey, everybody, I beat Chris Ello on my Masters pitch. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. $50.
No.
Too rich for your blood?
I don't know. If Ella and Scraby say it, we
40.
can do it. Or we can do 50 like for the all 4 majors. We'll do like a majors long competition.
Okay, I'm in on
For
that.
the season, maybe that could work.
All right, I like that quarter flip game. That's entertaining for the audience too. Get them at the edge of their seat. Who's
I'm
going to
sure.
win today?
The game last night
Tune in tomorrow.
had you at the edge of your seat at the end. I mean, it was Houston really dominated. I think surprisingly, as I wasn't expecting them to look that dominant early. I mean, they were up about double digits and just seemed to control everything. I mean, Walter Clayton Jr., who was the all-everything player of the tournament, did not even score until 5 minutes into the second half. This was going exactly the way Houston wanted it to go last night. And then the second half, things changed. And I was watching with my dad, who, is good, knows as much basketball as anyone, played in college,
Basketball
played his whole
Steve.
life. Basketball Steve. And he was, in the first half, they let him play. I think they only called like 4 fouls in the first half. And he goes, Houston they will take every inch of that. They will batter the other team and make the refs make the calls. And they weren't making the calls. So Houston, with that suffocating defense, there's just nothing Florida can do. If the referees aren't going to call it, they're just going to manhandle you the whole time. And they did. And then in the second half, the referees decided, we're going to start blowing the whistle. They called like 26 fouls in the second half. And that changed the game for Houston. They could not just, tear apart Florida. That gave them a little bit of space, and they started coming back. Clayton started getting his, and, finally they came back and in the end took that lead and set up what was one of the more memorably bad endings to a basketball game you've ever seen. With Houston down 2,
Stunning.
chance to tie or win it, and then unable to get a shot off at the end. As who was it? Cryer? Who was the had the ball that jumped, and then but he knows if he picks it up, it's going to be a double dribble. So he has to wait, and it just was the final couple of seconds as their season bled off was just so weird to see.
In a way, it was like super heads up to not touch that ball, and at least
it's smart. Yeah, smart.
Anybody that's played the game, like you know that moment, you're like, oh crap, I'm about to do
screw up.
something.
Yep,
I'm about to travel. And you're like, what do I do? And for him to kind of like try to screen somebody away, to just for a prayer.
But clocks, the clock is just ticking. It's just you're down to
that
3.
clock was like at 16 seconds, and then 10, and then 4, and I'm like, do something.
I saw Chad Baker Mazzara go up and down off the 3-point line in the last game. He goes up, and you see him as he's hitting the ground. He's like, oh no, I did it. And it's exactly what happened. So this guy hands off. But again, you had 19 seconds coming down the court to set up your best play, your best shot, get your best look. To not get a shot off, their head coach, Kelvin Sampson, said, it's incomprehensible. I don't know what you attribute it to. Good defense, sure, but not so much defense that you can't get a shot and draw a foul.
You have to at least throw up a prayer. I mean, it might go in. You might get a rebound. You might get fouled. Yeah.
If you go to the line, you can tie the game, and so it was, like I said, it's a terrible by law or by definition, it's a terrible ending, but it is an ending that you will never, ever forget. You know me with zero recall. In 3 years, be like, Woodsy, what happened in that Houston? I'll be like, oh, they didn't get a shot out in 19 seconds. It was one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I've never seen anything like it. In the game of that magnitude, with that time to do to get the inbound, bring it down the court, set up your shot. 19 seconds, guys.
You hear Jesse Agler say it a couple times a week, probably like, hey, just sometimes you come to the ballpark and you'll see something you've never seen before.
That's right.
It doesn't totally happen in basketball.
Good point. And
it happened last night.
Good point.
On the biggest stage in college basketball.
It would have been less surprising if somebody bounced a ball off somebody's head and it went in. That's less surprising than not getting a shot off. It'd be less surprising if somebody did a hook shot from, mid-range and made it. Like, this made no sense.
I mean, Houston has gotten there, like, to not have that championship, to get to that point last night, to be so close, the comeback against Duke in the Final Four.
Honestly, Paulie,
it would sting forever.
Honestly, with that much time left, they could have come down, gone for the quick to try to draw the foul. There was
extended the game a little bit.
You could have squeezed 5 more minutes out of that 19 seconds.
Credit Florida. The defense was incredible. And ultimately, Houston won a game they had no business winning to get to the championship. They should have been eliminated by Duke. If Duke had just done anything, in the last couple, 5 minutes of the game, they wouldn't have even
Houston's
been there.
Defense.
Yeah, again, but at the
they're
same
a 1 seed, they're not like a 9 seed.
But at the same time, they had no business losing that game last night. So you had kind of the opposite side of the coin from their semifinal game versus the championship game. And
like, I'm always going to be bummed that San Diego State lost a couple of years ago to UConn, because I don't know if and when they ever get back to the national championship, but they got to the Final Four and they were a lower seed. They weren't a 1 seed. They weren't one of the best teams in America that whole season.
How bad would that suck?
Like, man? Houston, if that loss would have happened to San Diego State, I would be catatonic.
Like I said, you'd be staring at your TV. I wouldn't be
able to process. How do you not get a shot off? I mean, they got bodied pretty good by UConn, and everybody kind of thought they would a couple of years ago. And I was fine with that. Really, I was at peace with that.
Yeah.
I would be beside myself if I was a Houston Cougars fan.
I couldn't believe it, man. I just could not. And again, I really crushed my viewing. I watched the last 2 minutes of each game on Saturday, and I watched the last 30 seconds of this game, and it was literally all I needed. I texted
you, assuming you weren't watching, and being like, hey, if you're going to turn it on at all,
well,
now would be the time.
It was at kind of a moment in the Padres game, too. Michael King had a little traffic on, and he struck out one guy. I was like, all right, I'm going to switch over real quick, and then I saw the last play, and then I got back to the Padres game. But I don't know, man. It's hard to stomach. It's really there's no moral victories for the Houston Cougars this morning. Nothing. I can't think they're like, hey, it was a good season, dude. That's different. Yes, you made it, but like their coach said after the game, he said a lot of teams aren't built to win 6 games. He goes, we were absolutely built to win 6 games. I mean, it's a bad one. It's as bad as I've ever seen.
Well, again,
I feel terrible for them.
Not to keep comparing to San Diego State, but they were a 6 seed or whatever. They like, you know what I mean? When you have that one next to you, you absolutely should win.
You should win that game.
You should win.
Yeah. You should at least shoot.
You have that expectation.
You should, you know what? At a bare minimum, you should at least take a shot with 20 seconds left in the game. At least take a shot. If it doesn't go in, you knew you went down swinging.
If there is a consolation for Houston, and there's not much this morning, it's that they're going to be really good next year again as well. Both ESPN and Sports Illustrated came out with their 2 early top 25s. Number 1, Houston to start next season for both of them. SI had San Diego State at number 25.
Nice.
Right on the edge. Maybe, yeah. ESPN was they had others next in line, not in the top 25, but very close to the top 25 for San Diego State going into next season. So Houston will have every opportunity, if they play well, to maybe get back to the Final Four and have another chance next year. But how often do you come that close, brass ring, within your grasp, and you don't even get the shot off.
You don't even. I'm not gonna say you didn't try, but like there was no attempt. I just don't know. Was it a brain fart? What was it? Because the defense was good.
It was good,
but
I mean,
it
you don't want to be the guy who takes the bad shot with 8 seconds left because you feel like you're going to keep getting a better one. So they kept passing to try to get a better one, and then they put themselves in just the bad situation in the end. And
you can hear the announcer. The announcer, gotta go. So you gotta. Okay, all right. Oh my God, they're not going to do it.
Think about Lamont Butler's shot in the semifinals, though.
But he was so confident.
Well, he was, but I mean, he was within about half an inch of stepping out of bounds first, and then he was within a half a second of not getting a shot off, and it wasn't and he made it. It wasn't the greatest shot that you were probably looking for in that situation.
Florida leads it by 2. Uzan gonna go. Uzan, give it up. Cryer, 6 seconds, 5 seconds, short. He walked. He can't touch it. He can't. 1 second. And it's over.
Oh my God. You'll never forget it as long as you live.
Congratulations to the Florida Gators on their 3rd national title, first since those back-to-backs they won with Billy Donovan in 2006 and 2007. There was a brief Magoon Guath appearance in one shining moment, block shot from the first 4 game.
Oh, I missed that entirely. I didn't watch it because I went back to the Padres.
I was mostly watching the Padres game as well, but thus ends the college basketball season 2024-2025.
It's over.
It is over.
It is over.
It is over. Still some basketball. Get the NBA playoffs still to get to, but baseball is now our focus, and we will get back to some Padres talk coming up this hour, including your updates on injuries. Jackson Merrill, Yu Darvish, and Joe Musgrove, the good day that he had yesterday in Sacramento. First, though, Don't Do This is coming up next, and one assistant general manager in Major League Baseball.
What are we doing, man?
Definitely Don't Do This for the Detroit Tigers.
And then a moment on the broadcast last night, on the television broadcast, sorry, Jesse, that had me in stitches. We'll play that for you.
Coming up next after a check of traffic with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan. First, I'll tell you about Prize Picks. Baseball season, I think, is the best season. For Prize Picks, you've got every night, usually multiple games, multiple teams, different players, and plenty of different stats, because baseball is the game of stats. And what Prize Picks is daily fantasy sports where you're just playing with the numbers. You're picking more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections, putting them in a lineup and winning real money, up to 1,000 times your cash with Prize Picks. Luis Ariz, more or less than 1.5 hits. Fernando Tatis Jr., more or less than 1 RBI. You can find all kinds of different options every single night on Prize Picks with all the games you are watching all baseball season long. All you have to do, download the app at prizepicks.com. It's really easy. And when you do, use the code KWFN to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's a lot of play right there to get you started by using the code KWFN and get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. It's daily fantasy for over 10 million members. You can be 10,000,001 today with Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for details.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Don't do this on a Tuesday. Brought to you by Trust and Will. Don't leave your entire estate, house, kids, and life savings up to chance if and when you die.
Do.
Set up a trust or will online at trustandwill.com.
This
is a lot more affordable than you think. Visit trustandwill.com for more info.
Hey, real quick, the last thing you heard on our show before we went to break was our traffic update from Kelly. I did just get a text. This happened after she had sent her latest traffic report. There is major police activity on the North 5 at Claremont Drive. All lanes are blocked.
Ooh.
And traffic is being diverted to the 8.
Okay.
On-ramps are closed in the area.
Oh, my God.
So that's a pretty busy
definitely
area.
True. Okay, so it's weird because
News you can use.
At Channel 10 last night, they had the same report. SIG alert, Claremont 5, and then it was canceled like immediately.
Huh.
I don't know if there's like something weird going on Claremont.
Well, if that's any part of your commute,
there
stay away.
was something weird going on in Detroit as, geez, dude, Sam Menzen, Detroit Tigers assistant general manager, actually resigned last Thursday, shortly before the team planned to fire him for improper workplace conduct. And apparently, Britt Tiroli from The Athletic talked to two women, said that Menzen, age 34, sent them photos of his genitals via Snapchat, where images are viewed and then auto-deleted. Both women said they received unsolicited lewd photos from him on several occasions, dating back to at least 2017.
How is this still happening?
It's still happening, dude. How? So they said upon being made aware of the allegations, the club promptly completed an investigation. Before the club could terminate Mr. Menzen, he resigned. And then he did send in a text message to The Athletic, he was seeking a career change and moving home to New York to handle some family issues. He did not respond to calls and texts seeking comment money. Remember the Mickey Callaway story? This happens. Yeah.
Who's going to be the Mets manager?
Yep.
And, yeah. I get that it's consenting adults if they want
consenting.
if they want to send each other things. I just don't see it. I don't know why you would ever request it or unrequested, but certainly not unrequested.
Well, the
send nude selfies.
The thing that I've always wondered is because we have plenty of friends that are female in the media, and they've shared horror stories with me. Like, you should see my DMs, and it's just bang, 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 one after the other, and you're like, what? That can't work. Like, not only do you run the risk of being outed and exposed, but like, it can't work. Like, hey, how you doing? You're very pretty. Bam, here's that. Right? And then do you think the girls will be like, hell yeah, great. Here's my number. Let's talk. It just, it's just a weird way to meet women.
Oh, this burner account in Billings, Montana.
Yeah, just sent me his
junk.
Yeah.
Look at that. I got to get up to Billings, Montana. What?
It's crazy to me.
If someone requested it from you,
sure.
Would you?
Sure.
I wouldn't. There's no way.
Yeah, my wife.
Even if my wife requested it, I would politely refuse.
Probably the last thing she would ever request.
Of course.
Hey, let me see that.
Even if she did, I'm just gonna go. There's no shot I can take that I'm going to approve of. That nothing's gonna look good.
Now, KG asks the question: has there ever in the history of humanity been a positive response to an unsolicited D-pic? I don't think there has been. Caitlin says biggest turnoff ever. 100%. Like, there may be a guy in your DMs that you may be willing to give a shot to. You have a little conversation, then all of a sudden, out of the blue, he's like, check this out. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't ask for that. It's crazy. So these guys out of
And what's the argument like in favor?
This guy's out of
shows
huge
enthusiasm
gig.
and
no. I mean, again, like
a certain daring do.
No. You can be daring without doing that. It's
right.
Do you expect men and now if a woman sends you an unsolicited topless pic, that's the difference in men and women. We're like,
it's a double
my
standard
God, it's
for
a
sure.
huge double standard. You're all in. You're like, oh my God, this is great. You don't think any less of her, right? But if it's a man does it, you're like, bro, you're a creep. You're a creep.
You shouldn't be around people.
Kurt says if Ben would take a picture of his calves, that actually what's the line there? Check these out. And it's just your calves. Is that offensive?
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is. KG says, like, one would think if the strikeout rate is 100% since the invention of photographs, people would stop trying. Yeah, I'm 0 for 700 here. Maybe I try a new approach. Candid calves with Ben.
Only calves.
Your calves are spectacular.
Thank you.
They really are.
Thank you. All right. Here's an interesting story because yesterday we were talking about how strict they are at the Masters. It's Masters Week, golf's first major at Augusta National Golf Club, where the membership is very strict with their rules, even when it comes to the people who attend the tournament, the patrons.
Yep.
And if you are lucky enough to get tickets to the Masters through legitimate, the Augusta National, they hold a lottery every year to pick some people who win tickets.
Sure.
You cannot resell those. There's
Correct.
no secondary ticket marketplace. And if you are found to be doing so, you are in a lot of trouble. And this is what happened. And this story was posted, kind of a sad story. Guy on Josh on Twitter said he was supposed to be at the Masters yesterday. Instead, due to a baffling mix of fraud or a misunderstanding, I had my tickets canceled and I'm currently banned from ever attending again. He says he won tickets legitimately through the lottery and planned to attend with his wife, his brother, and a friend. He said, I didn't really tell almost anybody about it, but then just like a week ago, he received an email from Augusta National. They said, it's come to our attention. You listed your tickets for sale with a third party. Therefore, be advised, your tickets have been canceled and your name has been removed from future consideration. He's going like, I did not do it.
I didn't do anything.
Then he says, I found someone had made a fake Facebook account with my picture.
Yeah.
And saying that I had tickets and was trying to sell them. And he goes, I didn't make this. And then he printed it out and appealed via mail and dropped off a whole big packet, like with his argument, but fell on deaf ears. Has no response from Augusta National. And as of now, not able to get into the Masters and is currently locked out of the tournament.
That'd be pretty tough, man, winning. Now, the only thing I could think of, because we kicked it around before the show, and you guys both said, well, wait, if the fake profile doesn't have the tickets, why would you run that scam? Like if you say, hey, I've got tickets for sale, but I'm telling you, these things are such hotcakes, right? So few people get to go. You could probably find some poor sucker to send you the $1,200 or whatever you wanted to charge, the $5,000. Yeah, tickets are on the way. It happens all the time in the world of, I almost got scammed once buying concert tickets, and I had to really double check and say, no, this doesn't seem right. Take a picture of the ticket, right? And you kind of call them on it. But if you think you have the opportunity to get Masters tickets, there's a good chance you'll wire over some money and never get those tickets. How did they find out, though? How did a person, a scammer?
I think, I had at Augusta National find out. No. They scan the internet for people who are trying to do this.
How did the scammer find out that this guy Josh had tickets? The only thing I could think about, there may be some way to hack in to see who actually won the lottery. Maybe. And then you go in for those and you start trying to sell their tickets
online. Or maybe
online.
He was trying to sell the tickets and he's trying to come up with this cover story on the back end.
He's trying to back out.
Yeah.
Man,
I don't know.
Crazy, dude. Crazy. But yeah, they don't mess around with that third-party stuff, which, honestly, I feel like the third-party markets they're the worst anyway, and that's where you just get price gouged. But I digress. This made me laugh so hard last night.
DD Mega Doo-Doo.
Watching Mud and Don always brings a smile to my face. And when they get going, and listen to how clever and dry Don is as he's talking about his mini yacht to Mud. This made me laugh.
I do have some bad news, though, on the mini yacht. What's that? I happened to check, because I was going to invite you on the mini yacht sometime so you can take a ride. But the weight limit on there is 400 pounds, it says. So you and I both, because you're like 285-ish. Easy, chop. 89-ish? Easy.
The snort.
89.
The snort. Get every single time. I love how he starts just, I got some bad news on the mini yacht. Just laid me out last night.
89-ish? 289-ish?
Messing up my shirt.
So I don't think it's going to work. It's pretty good, doesn't it? It does. Yeah, very nice. Why don't you put it on? I don't want to scare the kids.
Those shirts are on very small, by the way. I'm going to tell you, all you portly, husky fellows like us out in the audience, you get the XL, fits like an L.
So a question for you guys. I think the commercial the Padres made with Don on his mini yacht to advertise is so clever.
So clever.
Did he just really do that with his cell phone? Because the quality's really good. Or did they have was there like a camera crew on there with him or on a separate
there's
boat?
A 400-pound.
Did they have like a second boat next to his boat that was shooting that? Or did he literally just go out on his boat by himself, hold his cell phone, and create an entire television commercial about the Padres Hawaiian shirt Motorola
Smartphone
giveaway?
cameras are unbelievable.
I know they're so good
now.
and I couldn't tell if it really was just a cell phone selfie, and the audio's good too. I mean, they're on the boat; it's windy.
They're like
and stuff.
Movies that are made now on iPhone.
Don just signed that big fat lucrative deal. I bet he upgraded his phone.
True.
To the best of the best.
But whatever that, it was very clever.
It's very clever. They're very clever guys, and they bring a lot to the broadcast every single night.
And that is Don't and Do This for a Tuesday.
That was Don't Do This with Ben and Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
Mentioned it before. Padres currently in possession of the best record in baseball, first place. And when we come back, I want you to guess, what was the last day the Padres were in first place in the NL West? Just think about it, and I will give you the answer courtesy of our colleague Chris Ello when we return with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And if you are living with chronic joint pain, I will give you the answer to your problems. Not Chris Ello. I will tell you right now, it's QC Kinetics. Call them today if you're suffering from joint pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, and back, other joints as well. My wrists were what sent me into QC Kinetics in the first place. Also gone for one treatment on my knee. It is incredible. If my joints start barking, I know exactly where I'm going for the rest of my life. It's QC Kinetics. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. The pain can before it gets super debilitating, why don't you call QC Kinetics today at 619-614-PAIN? Get back to doing all those things that I know you miss. If you're a bike rider, a jogger, a golfer, adult baseball player, whatever it is, get in there, man. I'm doing it. I'm having fun doing, going to the gym, doing all the stuff I love to do, again, because of QC Kinetics. Free consultation appointments in Torrey Hills and Hillcrest. Find out how easy it is to get back to enjoying life without chronic joint pain. Now's the best time to get started by calling 619-614-PAIN. Let them know Woodsy from 97.3 The Fan sent you at QC Kinetics, 619-614-PAIN.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
All right, any guesses on the last day the Padres held sole possession of first place in the National League West?
I'm going to say, just off the top of my head, June 17th, 2022.
That is exactly
right.
right.
Oh, my God. I am a Padres aficionado.
Wow.
Man, thank you.
I didn't know that until Chris texted to me. How did you know it?
I saw his Twitter.
Oh, so. I thought, I mean, it's not that remarkable to spend a day in first place.
No, not really.
It's another thing to be, in first place on the last day of the season, or even spend, a month or two in first place after playing a long run of good baseball. But it's been now almost 3 years since the Padres have looked up at the standings and seen their name on the top of the list. And it's a good feeling, for however long it lasts. The Padres are off to a really good start this year at 9-2. And we started the show, Woods, by challenging someone in our YouTube stream who said the Padres are playing over their capabilities here. Get ready for the inevitable, crash back down to reality.
Sure.
And I think we both agreed they're not playing beyond their capabilities.
No, I don't think
they're
so.
They're playing mostly up to their capabilities and are capitalizing and winning. They're 4-0 in one-run games. They're capitalizing. They're holding on to close leads and turning decent performances into victories. They haven't played perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
No, and look, have they gotten a little bit lucky? Sure. A lot of teams get a little bit lucky, and you're going to need some of that luck. They've also been a little unlucky at times as well. It's the nature of a baseball season. What I see from this team every single night, man, is really good effort. I really just see good effort from these guys. They make mistakes, certainly. They Crony threw the ball away last night. Manny kicked one. Arise missed a play he probably should have had. They didn't let those errors snowball and break them, and I've seen Padres teams in the past, and I know you have as well. It's over. I mean, we saw the head in the sand. It would be 1-0 in the first back in 2023, and you're like, I can turn this game off. I'm done. They are not coming back from down 1-0 in the first inning. Xander would kick a ball in the first, and the next thing you know, you're like, yeah, they're next thing you know, it's 6-0. And the team would quit. I don't see any quit in this team. And again, I'm not going to come in here and say this team is absolutely perfect. They're firing on all cylinders because even if they were, I also realize it's April 8th and we were anointing the Philadelphia Phillies last year. That was a team, Ben, that looked like it was built top to bottom, starters, bullpen, bench, starting lineup to win 112 games. I was like, who's beating these guys? No one. They didn't do anything. They did nothing essentially. And it's in the course of a long baseball season, man, every team's going to have holes. They're going to try to find a way to plug those holes. And we certainly have them on our team. We'll see what they do, but I'm very encouraged with what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I'm not getting out my anointing oils.
Yeah, put away the anointing oil
either. But at the same time, if you're gonna doom, and you're really good in that you say, I'm not going to tell anybody how they should be a fan.
Yeah,
it's totally up to you. If you want to be a Doomer. Pessimistic fan, a doomer.
Well, I learned my lesson, man.
Then that's probably just how you would rather watch baseball and then be pleasantly surprised when they do win. You have some of that in you sometimes,
sure,
and that's fine. But if you're going to doom on the Padres at 9-2, then how much are you dooming on the Dodgers at 9-3 today? Because they have absolute flaws that have been exposed.
Yeah.
Guys who are not performing at the bottom of their lineup. Their defense is atrocious.
Shoddy.
It's legitimately a concern. Now, will that stop them from being a great team at the end of the season with as much pitching and power, slug that they have on their roster? Will defense actually stop them from getting to where they want to go? I don't know. I mean, it could. If it happens at the wrong moment, they have a couple of really bad defensive games. It could be costly. They've lost 3 times. 9-3 is actually a really good start.
Good start.
That is also on pace to, best record in baseball history as well. So, I won't think Dodgers fans should be dooming. Padres fans should also not be dooming at this point.
It is funny to see them doom, and they are absolutely dooming. But yeah, I mean, look, you have a $400 million roster, and you've got Miguel Rojas batting under 100. You've got Andy Pages is honestly he might be the worst big leaguer I've ever seen. He can't run the bases, he can't hit, and he can't field.
They say that he doesn't read the ball well off the bat.
That's like saying Ray Charles doesn't see very well. He sees okay. He doesn't see very well. He might be the worst big leaguer I've ever seen. I'm not kidding. And that's not just taking a shot at the Dodgers. He's terrible, man. He's not good at anything right now. Does he have the potential to be better? Absolutely. You've got Kike Hernandez in the starting lineup every day. He's batting like 091, but then again, you got Shohei Ohtani, you got Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman will be coming back. They're getting big pieces back. Will Smith is off to a good start. Like, they have holes there in LA. San Francisco has holes. Arizona has holes. Everybody's got holes right now. The way the Padres are getting it done is just like I've said all year. It's just a really enjoyable.
Honestly, I think
it's an enjoyable brand of baseball.
The biggest difference for the Dodgers and everybody else remains starting pitching depth.
Yeah,
there's not many teams that can withstand. Throw Blake Snell on the injured list for however long, a month or two, and not even really bat an eye and be absolutely fine with it. Other teams, you lose a top pitcher like that, it has a trickle-down effect.
It's dire, man.
It's not good. Padres would be in that same boat as just about everybody else.
Yep.
And Ohtani is a difference maker. I mean, he hit a 2-run home run off of Mackenzie Gore yesterday, but that was all Mackenzie Gore gave up in 6 innings. Held the Dodgers in check, 7 strikeouts. James Wood hit a home run, another former Padre, as the Nationals beat the Dodgers 6-4, handing that team their 3rd loss in 4 games. And the Giants had their 7-game winning streak snapped last night as well, shut out by Hunter Green and the Cincinnati Reds.
Who was nasty.
8 2/3, 4 hits, a walk, 7 strikeouts, 2-0 the final. So that snaps their 7-game winning streak. So and the Diamondbacks lost too. Zach Eflin of the Orioles outpitched Zach Gallen of the Diamondbacks in a 5-1 win. So the Padres picking up ground all over the place in the NL West last night.
Yeah, it's exactly what you needed. And, again, I keep my eyes on every single team in the NL West. I will the entire season. I really like what the Padres have done. I really like how they're playing. And there's a lot of confidence. I mean, Fernando coming up last night, ambushing the first pitch, hitting it right to the wall. I thought that's how you set the tone. That's how you do it, man. He barreled that ball, right? I was like, that ball's gone. But listen, the other guys stepped up last night. Guys like Jake Cronenworth with a big bomb. Luis Ariz continues to hit. Like, everybody's pulling their weight right now. It's not just a situation where you need Shohei and Mookie to carry you. It's everybody contributing.
Even the catchers. And Elias Diaz didn't have a great offensive game.
That throw?
Threw critical throw out at second base there.
It was absolutely perfect. Great tag by Xander as well. Xander, again, is going to catch. He's catching a lot of flack early. He did hit the 2 hardest balls, I think, last night. Absolute missiles, 106 and 105 off the bat for him. That kind of shows me he's getting locked in a little bit. As far as defense goes, man, yeah, just I don't know. I think we need a better version of him right now. But again, at 9-2, I'm not going to say a word. Right
I mean, he made a couple okay plays. There was that one that he didn't get to that was slowly hit.
Yeah,
and the throw was late, but that wasn't an easy play. I mean, Manny can't make that play every time either when it's not hit hard enough.
Yeah.
And Michael King was giving them such fits that they had those soft hit balls that there's going to be some infield singles. And, he dives. I think you mentioned it before the show. Makes diving kind of plays and gets his glove on the ball. For some reason, it hasn't been going into the glove a lot of times. Those aren't errors.
Nope.
They're legitimate hits. You just want to see a few of those taken away if you're going to have a top flight shortstop defensively. Elsewhere in the National League, Cubs continued to stay hot after taking 2 or 3 from the Padres. They blanked the Rangers 7-0 behind Justin Steele, and the Mets improved to 4-0 at home with a 2-0 win over the Miami Marlins. That's
a team, talking about looking at it on paper going, I don't know where they're going to get their innings from. Their starting pitching has been good. They've been really, really clutch. The Mets are playing really good baseball. Really, really good baseball.
All right, Padres did have some injury updates yesterday. We can get to those after Kelly maybe updates the traffic situation on the 5 next year on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Jack in the Box. We got some major headaches for you northbound 5 before Claremont Drive. Some police activity has got the whole freeway shut down northbound 5. Southbound lanes are open, but yeah, be prepared to be diverted off North 5 at the 8. You cannot access North 5 from West 8, SeaWorld Drive, Rosecrans, any of those roads. So yeah, give yourself extra time if that is your route. I'll keep you posted on that. Northbound 5, all lanes blocked right before Claremont Drive with police activity. Also getting reports of a hit-and-run crash north 805 before Home Avenue, not showing if lanes are blocked, and crash on southbound 15 before Poway Road. That's now over to the right shoulder. You're going to want to sit down for this. The jumbo breakfast platter from Jack in the Box. No, seriously, it's so munch food. There's French toast sticks, grilled sausage patty, hash browns, and scrambled eggs, all for just $3.99. Get all this and so much more at Jack in the Box. And Kelly Danick with Ben and Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Well, not only did the Padres get the win yesterday, Woods, but they did it without one of their best players as Jackson Merrill sat out for the first time this season. And Mike Shildt had an update on Jackson pregame yesterday in Sacramento.
Mike Jackson not in the lineup today. What's the
Yeah,
update?
he's a little tight with his legs last couple of days. Just wanted to get ahead of it.
Cold weather related in any way, or just take it over the course of the season?
I can't tell you that, Scan. I mean, his legs are tight. I don't know what it was related to, but, we trying to get ahead of it.
Oh, boy. So don't know exactly what caused, and Kevin Acey reported it was kind of hamstring tightness.
You saw it first to third the other day.
Yeah, and I posted the video on my Twitter account because when Carson Kelly threw the ball away on the back pick and Jackson went from first to third, when he looked like he was running fine, but when he got to third, he was clearly shaking out the right leg and then kind of stretching it out a little bit in terms of it looked like, okay, something seems a little wonky with Jackson's leg. And so it wasn't totally stunning to hear the news today. Now, Mike Shildt hopes that it's just a day or two.
Yep, a little ouchie. Yeah, a little ouchie.
The great thing, you remember when you were 21?
Yeah, vaguely. The recovery is astounding.
Just astounding. You feel, everyone gets sore and, gets hurt every once in a while. But when you're 21, you wake up the next day and you go, yeah, I feel fine. Can't even remember why I was aching yesterday. It's just gone like instantly.
It's crazy. You go out and abuse your body, whether playing sports or out at the bars, and you wake up, you're like, all right, I'm back on it. Splash a little cold water on your face, you're ready to go. A little different at 49. Everything hits a little different at 49. But listen, I'm not too worried about it right now. He did look like he was at his dog's funeral last night as he was leaning over the railing, looking at the field like he may never get back there again. I was like, bro, you're fine. Maybe a couple of games,
He was very healthy last year.
Yeah.
He seems to take really good care of his body.
He does.
Eventually, he's going to get hurt.
Sure.
Whether it's a rolled ankle and he's out for a week, whatever. He's going to get hurt, and he's going to be the worst athlete in Padres history at being hurt. Joe Musgrove's probably that same way.
He's up there,
dying to get back onto this field.
He threw yesterday a light catch. I think he threw 25 balls and was very excited about
60 feet, but just like catch with the dad in the backyard.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. Apparently, Nick Pivetta lobbied hard to be the one who got to throw.
Oh, that's cool.
With Joe. I don't know exactly why, but he said, no, if you're going to throw, I want to be the one out there. So, Ruben was watching and just threw the ball 25 times. And Joe said felt really good. And the plan is just to do that again tomorrow and then again on Friday. And if that all goes well, then they can stretch that a little bit next week. And eventually, I think like July, you might get back and start throwing on a mound. And, that still will be a very slow process. If everything went perfectly, Joe's idea would be get back in time for the playoffs where you can contribute maybe out of the bullpen for the Padres. That's a hugely optimistic time frame to get back in under 12 months. Only 5% of guys who have Tommy John surgery ever make it back that quickly, but it is within the theoretical realm of possibility. And Joe wants to make that his target. And so far, everything's gone well in his rehab and recovery.
Yeah, Brandon Lockridge filled in center field last night. Obviously, it's a completely different player entirely, especially on the offensive side. You don't really lose a lot defensively. Lockridge can cover a lot of ground out there. So I would imagine you see more of the same tonight if Jackson can't go. Yeah, listen, there's no reason in April to rush this thing. If it's you'd hate for it to be one of those nagging all year long. Oh, my groin, my hammy. He's got to be really careful with it. He is young. He will bounce back. Didn't sound like it was anything major.
Wesley in the chat doing some really solid dooming, saying a broken femur can cause hamstring tightness. It's possible. We saw
Sure.
we saw the stress fracture reaction, whatever, with Fernando last year, and that was a legitimate, serious injury that hampered him and kept him out a long time. Let's not jump right to that conclusion with Jackson Merrill. And while Scan was kind of rebuffed by Mike Schilt when he said cold have anything to do with it, certainly the possibility of playing in 40-degree weather for 3 days is not going to leave your muscles feeling in tip-top shape, after playing like that.
When Schilte says your name, that's when you know you're dead.
In trouble.
Which when you are, it's like your mom saying your name. That's Schilte's like, hey, listen, Scan.
I can't tell you that, Scan.
Uh-oh, that's like the alarm bells.
You play in the big league, Scan. You should know
You
better.
know better.
Than to ask
Yeah,
you
yeah,
questions.
100%. Oh,
Hey, boy, did I stutter?
That dude's still he still terrifies me, man, every time. You just never know.
I can't tell you that, Scan. I mean, his legs are tight. I don't know what
That's
it was
it.
related to, but
Shut up.
What else do you want me to tell you?
What you want to hear, tall Bob?
And and Schilt is going like, if I say something more specific and I'm wrong, then they'll blame me for giving out bad information. So I'm going to be very conservative in what I say. And if I don't know, I'm not going to say I know.
Yep.
So, and then also Yu Darvish throwing from 180 feet now. So he's stretched way out. And if that continues to go well, his next step should be to get on a mound, hopefully, in the next few days.
Be a nice little boon for the team.
Then possibly onto a rehab assignment and back into the Padres starting rotation, which, possibly they could need another starting pitcher at this point.
I would say absolutely they need another starting pitcher at this point. How about 3?
So, mixed bag of injury news for your San Diego Padres. Little good, a little bit concerning, but mostly nothing too negative and a lot of positive as well yesterday.
100%, man. Huge win yesterday. Bullpen, bended a little bit, did not break. Bended. English major, by the way. Bended on bended knee. Yeah, they don't say on bent knee.
No, that's true.
Yeah, they say on bended knee. Bullpen bent, did not break. It was jarring to see Jeremiah Estrada give up such a nuke, but it's bound to happen to even the best one. Their bullpen remains incredible.
If your bullpen's going to give something up, a solo home run's the one thing.
All
fine.
day.
You're okay with
all
it.
day
Especially
long.
after
not a bunch of walks and crap like
after
that.
you just gotten that extra insurance run from Fernando in the top of the inning. It was perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
And then Adam and Suarez closed it out. They have Morejon, Estrada, Adam, and Suarez have only pitched in wins this year.
Yeah, because of them.
Largely
because of them.
Sometimes there's weird stats that don't really tell you anything. I think that one tells you something.
It does.
That they get the lead, they put those guys in, they keep the lead, they win the game.
I think there's a lot of faith in the bullpen, in everybody right now from Schilte, and that's got to be a good feeling as a manager and as a San Diego Padre position player. Like, all right, man, we get a lead, our guys are going to hold this thing down. It's been really refreshing.
Don't go away, Padres fans. Because coming up in our 8 o'clock hour, it's Tuesday. That means Jesse Agler, the voice of the Padres, and the Incorporator, week 2 for Jesse Agler, all coming up. We'll play some Take on Woods as well. Don't go away. San Diego's #1 sports station, Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan.
right, we are halfway home on a Tuesday. Ben and Woods, 97.3 The Fan. Got a lot of good stuff coming up for you the rest of the show. Got Take on Woods next. We got Jesse Agler, the Incorporator, coming up at 8:35. Interested to hear his experiences in a new major league city, at least a temporary new major league city.
So we had Dennis Lynn on yesterday.
Yeah.
He was not all that fond of his accommodations.
Correct,
where
which happens.
Where the Athletic put him up.
Yeah.
Said it was close, but not a great hotel. It was a really tiny room.
Yeah.
Now, I heard some of the Padres say that wherever they're staying, which is probably usually
It's a nice place.
Yeah, it's usually
Nicer.
a nice place.
Yeah.
Sometimes there's Carlton in the name. Sometimes there's Seasons in the name.
Mhm.
I don't know what they have in Sacramento.
As nice as Sacramento can be.
It's whatever. But
It's
they
got
said,
Hampton.
yeah,
It's got Hampton in the name in Sacramento.
The Hamptons are supposed to be very
Extended stay.
nice. Yeah. But they said their accommodations were really good. First time there. So hopefully Jesse has a good room. And I saw him posting some pictures yesterday.
I was texting with Jesse yesterday. He said, at least it's not cold.
Yes.
It was so cold in Chicago.
Yeah, bitter cold. Well, thanks for being here. However you consume this program, we really, really appreciate it. Couldn't do what we do without you guys out there listening. So I'm Woodsy. That's Paul Reindl, the executive producer of the program. Ben Higgins is your friendly neighborhood sports anchor. Now, I needed to bring this up again since I potentially ruined your life yesterday morning. You and I are preparing for a Friday night work event, essentially, but it's not connected to here. We're emceeing or roast. We're the roast masters of a roast of my father-in-law, Scott, on Friday night. And we're in tuxedos, the whole bit. It's going to be great. I'm very nervous about, I'm not too nervous. I'm nervous about that we're going to be good. But I'm really also nervous about the other roasters because none of them can find any material on him to roast him for. And I mentioned yesterday that my mother-in-law asked for your mom's email. And I said, I think she's going to invite your parents. And you flipped out. You freaked out. Your face went white, panicked. And you said, I don't know that I want them there so I can be edgy on stage, Dice Man. And so what's the resolution?
They're coming.
They are coming.
Yeah.
Are you nervous? Or are you more nervous?
A little bit, but we talked it over. It's funny because my mom said she actually felt the same way because she used to have to give in her job that she had. She used to have to talk to like big groups.
Yeah.
She said, I always felt more comfortable when it was just strangers in the crowd as opposed to people that I actually like knew.
Really? See, I'm
Yeah.
the opposite. I like
Yeah.
a security blanket
Yeah,
there.
well,
I want to look over and
see someone like
know
a
that-
confident, a reassuring face.
and know that I can get, at a bare minimum, I can get a laugh from you or Paulie or my wife or something. You know what I mean? As opposed to when we had to go speak, what was that thing we spoke at? What were they called? The Old Guards? What was it?
The Scripps Ranch Old Pros.
The Old Pros.
Yeah.
Bro, they threw us in a room with like 70 guys and they're staring at us. And I didn't know one single solitary soul. And I was really nervous about that. But if I'm at a live broadcast and I look out in the audience, I see 10, 12, 15, 20 tier ones that I know, and I know I'm going to get a laugh from them. That makes me feel good.
See, I guess I think that if I see a room with 70 people I don't know, whether I'm good, bad, whatever, probably not going to have to run into those people again. So my performance feels the pressure is off a little bit. But when I know, oh, these are tier ones, these are family members, I'm going to be seeing them constantly. If I do poorly, they're going to remember, and I'm going to have to, remember. But remember when you were terrible being the roast master, and then I have to remember that forever. But if it's just a bunch of strangers, it's like I don't ever have to think about it again. Yeah, I was bad, but it's not like people are bringing it up constantly because I'm not running into these people again.
Yeah, that's true. It's why, people that are able to go on stage and tell jokes and things like that. I mean, to kind of bare your soul, knowing, it's really hard to get a laugh from people. Well, I'm glad they're coming because now I feel it's weird because I feel better knowing they're coming because now I think I can at least get a laugh out of them.
The hardest thing for me to really wrap my mind around.
Your rump around, you almost said.
Yeah, my
wrap
rump.
my, to wrap
my
your
rump.
rump around
is trying to be funny while being somewhat mean at the same time.
It's not easy.
It's not.
I'm a really good roastee. You can roast me all day. I don't care. Have a ball. Like there's nothing off limits as far as I've been roasted. It was super, super funny. I laughed my ass off. Now my radio partner at the time did not think it was funny. I loved it. You couldn't go low enough for me. I laughed hysterically. But to get up and actually be mean to someone is difficult.
You joked that, now I can't tell the dirty jokes.
Right.
It's not so much the dirty jokes. It's that you have to insult people. And
Yeah.
I'm not used to insulting people. And if you try to tell a funny roast joke and it falls flat,
Yeah, it sucks.
then it's just a mean comment that you
Correct.
made that no one finds any humor in. And then you're the jerk standing up there on the stage just being mean and not funny. So you have to be funny in a roast or you're just an a-hole. You're just a mean
Yeah.
a-hole on stage.
Yeah.
And that's the risk when you're doing something like this.
I think it's, also just don't do anything personal, right? Don't be like,
it can't not be personal. Though.
Sure, personal appearance, right? Stay away from personal appearance. You know what I mean? That's kind of a line you don't cross. You don't make fun of somebody's. Well, maybe you do.
I mean, if we had Raiders owner Mark Davis and we were roasting him, you mean we can't talk about his hair?
His hair.
You have to. You kind of have to.
You're right.
That's a prime roasting target right there. And that's personal appearance. You
Yeah.
might be sensitive about that. You don't know what people are and are not actually sensitive about and what they're going to remember for years to come. Like, I can't believe you went there. And I'm not certainly I don't mean any harm by it. It's, this is all out of respect and fun. But yeah.
Now you got me more nervous than I was. Now I'm kind of a wreck about it. Great. I'm going to have a cocktail before, for sure. For sure. Like a big one, a stiff one, big stiff cocktail.
Don't leave me out there by myself.
I won't just pass out. I did.
What's just sleeping on the couch in the back?
Well, it's it's kind of an older crowd, and I asked my mother-in-law. I'm foul-mouthed, like I'm a foul-mouthed person. I curse a lot.
Gas stations said kids off limits. Yes. Wives off limits. Yes.
Yeah.
People who didn't ask to be involved in that spotlight off limits. I don't know anyone at this roast who actually did ask to be involved.
Yeah.
Other than us, we were asked and we happily are involved.
I think that his wife is. You can roast
On
Susie.
Well,
yeah.
she kind of organized it. so
Correct.
she better be somewhat.
She's scary though,
receptive.
because she'll look at you and laugh, and then also come up behind you and prison shank you and walk away and never forgive you. She's like that, so she's a
your
little scary.
mother-in-law.
She is. She's terrifying.
She's just an acquaintance for me, but she's your mother-in-law.
Which is why you're going to be the one that has to roast her. I'm actually going to be worthless. I'm not saying anything. They're very great and kind, but she won't let. I can't go blue. I can't curse, which is going to be very difficult for me, especially after a drink or two.
You can't curse.
I'm not allowed. I mean, she said I wouldn't, which means if she says I wouldn't, that means don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the way I
Is this going to be the cleanest, nicest roast in the history of roasts?
It might be. It very well might be. But I
Let me tell you about Scott. He is so nice,
so generous, so kind, so handsome. He is all, like I said, his only flaw, really, in my eyes, is that he roots for the Dodgers, and he's kind of a Dodger fan about it. He does the pat on the head. Oh, Padres looking really good, and I'm like,
so that is a different class. I know a couple of Dodgers fans who were like that.
Yeah,
but they aren't
patronizing.
Yes, they're not.
I root for you guys.
Yeah,
I root for you guys.
They're not the Padres suck kind of Dodgers fans. They're like, oh yeah, no, I like this new rivalry we've got going. You guys are
pretty good,
doing really well.
They pat you on the they pat you on the head and say, oh no, I mean, look, it's pretty cool. Jackson Merrill, that's good. You guys got a guy locked up and spending a little money. I want to get your thoughts too as we're talking about this, because the thing I'm getting roasted for, and I have no rebuttal. Usually I have a decent rebuttal. The Wildcard banner that we hung, Dodger fans have found it at Petco Park, and they are having a field day with it.
The Padres have banners for every year they made the playoffs. 1984 National League champions, 1998 National League champions. By the way, the only two seasons in Padres history where they started 9-2, 1984 and 1998. Now 2025.
So Dodger fans was at Petco Park. They saw it. They're like, oh my God, they actually hung this little. You've seen it, I'm sure. The little wild card.
They have a banner for the farthest they got. So 1996 NLS champion, 2005 NLS champion, 2006 NLS champion. And then recently they have the NL Division Series winner in 2022.
Yep.
wild card winner in
24.
2024.
Yeah.
That's the farthest they got. They were the wild card winner.
And
if they had lost that series, it would have just said NL wild card participant or whatever just got to the NL wild card. They have a banner for every time they made the playoffs.
Yeah, Junior says we may not have a lot, but what we have, we value a lot. I have no rebuttal to it. I don't know that I would have hung one of those.
I think it's embarrassing.
I'm kind of embarrassed.
So should there
by
be
it,
no banners at all at Petco Park?
Yeah.
Not even the national
pennant.
champion?
Pennants.
84-98, that's all?
Yeah, pennant. You win the pennant, that's a big friggin' deal, man. Period. It's a big deal.
Division? What about division?
I think one banner that lists like the years, like you add to it.
You add to it. That's pretty good.
They do that at Viejas with the
right.
Aztecs years they won the Mountain West.
But
regular season tournament, just add the years to it.
We beat the Braves in 2 games. Woo!
Yeah.
I mean, getting to the playoffs is an accomplishment. In
Less than it
baseball.
used to be.
It a little bit.
Less than, like, you're expected to make the playoffs. I don't know. I saw it. I have no rebuttal for it. I'm like, all right, you got me.
So the Dodgers, like the year they won 106 games.
Yeah.
And they ended up as a wild card.
Right.
But they did win the division series.
Correct.
But then they lost in the World Series. Or no, in the NLCS.
In the
that year?
NLCS.
So they get nothing for that year. 106 wins, getting to the NLCS. They don't get a banner.
They didn't win the division.
Any sort of anything. They didn't win the division.
I don't think they
the World Series.
I don't think
They
they
didn't
hung
get
it. I don't think
nothing.
they hung anything.
Nothing for
I don't.
106 wins.
I've never been. I mean, I've been, but I haven't looked.
Better season than I think all but like 27 other franchises have ever had in the history of baseball. It's not worth a single thing for the Dodgers.
I don't know. It's an interesting. It's an interesting conversation.
I've never liked it. It feels like you're trying to force fake good history.
It's
like
it is good. It is good to do that.
I mean, wasn't 2022 a really cool, awesome season, though?
Yes.
Made the playoffs, beat the Dodgers in the playoffs, but technically, you got to win a pennant. That's a nothing season for the Padres. It's not worthy of memory. It's not worthy of recognition at all.
Yeah, no banner. I kind of agree. Well, again, it's a good troll on their part. That's a good thing to troll us for. You're absolutely right.
I've always thought it's stupid that Ted Williams is in the Padres Hall of Fame. He didn't play for the Padres.
I know.
Played for the PCL Padres.
Yeah.
It's different Padres, but they had the name Padres. He had the name Padres on his jersey.
Here.
He's from here, but he played for the PCL Padres.
Okay.
But, I mean, there is definitely...
that seems like, hey, we don't have a great history. We need somebody. Let's put Ted Williams in.
The Yankees, the Dodgers, the Celtics, the Lakers, the Patriots.
The Warriors.
Once you've won a ton of titles, the wild card, the division titles fall kind of flat. When you're a franchise that has won nothing, you want to have a few things to rally around and celebrate.
Yeah, true. It's true. It's not. I'm not offended by it. It's a really good troll on.
I think it's
part
like
is
settling.
What I'm saying. It's not.
I mean, if the Padres ran off a string and won 5 World Series in the next 12 years, you might lose some of the banners at that point.
That's true. That's true.
That would be great. That's the ultimate goal, that we can take down the wild card and the division series winning banners in 15 years because we got our 4 World Series banners up. That would be great.
Fair enough.
But until then, I'm okay with having the other banners
At the end of the day, I'm not going to go under and take pictures under it and be like, hell yeah. I mean, it was still a fun year, a great year, but
look, if I hate to say it, but yeah, if I were a Dodger fan, that's like the biggest target I'd be using.
Bro, as growing up a Yankee fan, 1918 was the greatest chant ever. You couldn't get a better troll. There's no better troll than 1918. The whole stadium with T-shirts, 1918, and then
in 2003, and that ended,
and then it ends.
It's over.
And those shirts
can't do it anymore.
Those shirts are now used to wash your car on the weekend. You know what I mean? Like. So I would use it too. It's a great troll. Well done.
Yeah, it's accurate. There's no real rebuttal to it.
Correct. There's no rebuttal.
That's why we want to win one so badly. Really, just to eliminate that as a potential troll by Dodgers fans. Finally get your one. You can't say it as much anymore.
Yeah, it's fair.
Why we didn't want the Dodgers to get the one last year.
That's right.
Like feel like, hey, all right, yeah, we don't have one, but you don't have a real one since 1988.
Yeah,
so,
I know. 1988 was a good chant. It was.
And now they can. And so that's why last year hurt extra.
Getting a text, people wanting us to record the roast on Friday. That is not happening. We're going to make people put their cell phones in those little special bags like they do in high schools now. None of this can leak
They used
out.
to televise all the big roasts.
This is not a big roast.
Dean Martin and Sammy Davis Jr. And they'd all roast each other. You know, they just take turns.
Oh, it was
like
so good. I watched
roasting
a
each
couple.
other.
I watched
Yeah.
a couple for inspiration, and we're not going to be as good as they
Don
are.
Rickles would get up there, and
you can't. He's unbelievable. I mean, it actually makes you sad because you realize I couldn't do anything close to this. So, Guz says, can we get an invite to the party? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No chance. It's not a tier 1 event. Someday we may do.
I'm sure you'll get a well-curated recap on Monday morning next week.
I may run a little tape in my pocket. You never know. Might have to get a little bit. Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. All right. We'll do you guys a favor.
But no unauthorized posting of anything before we all discuss it.
Correct.
Afterwards.
Yep.
All right. We need a contestant for Take on Woods. Didn't have a winner yesterday, so still looking for our first qualifier for this month's grand prize. It is a trip to Vegas, MGM Grand, $150 gift card, concert tickets to Disturbed, Ghost, or Pantera. Call now and get in the queue. 833-288-0973. 833-288-0973. Our 5-question musical trivia challenge. Tier 1 V Woods is coming up next after a check of traffic here on 97.3 The Fan.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. GEGE 0000466. For a full list of games and rules, play at 7 Mile Casino. Visit 7milecasino.com.
First, we'd like to tell you about our favorite card room in San Diego, 7 Mile Casino. We've been talking about it for years and years, but before we started talking about it, I had passed by 7 Mile, and honestly, I was skeptical. But, well, I mean, it's right there. It can't be great, right? I know about this place. And then I walked in and I go, man, this place is actually fantastic. It's upscale, it's clean, it's friendly, it's comfortable. It's really a nice spot to hang out, play cards, and have a good time.
It really is. And I was with you that day, and we walked in. We both kind of elbowed each other and went, wow, this is pretty cool. And a lot of the tier 1s came out last year for the series when we played the Dodgers opening day. It was amazing to see so many out there. Hopefully a lot of you have been back, and if you haven't gone back, make it a priority to get down there. You'll love the food, you'll love the people, you'll love the smoke-free environment, and you'll love the proximity to downtown. It's just 7 minutes away.
Open 24/7. I mean, San Diego doesn't have a lot of places like that. So, yeah, check it out when you get a chance. Do it soon, though. Head down to 7 Mile Casino on Bay Boulevard, just 7 minutes from downtown.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
The old scorecard is that's not as bad as I thought it would be. John Libka. Then a couple of impactful calls, but nothing crazy. 93% called ball accuracy, 91% called strike accuracy, a little bit above average there, a little bit below average for called ball accuracy, but not bad. I thought maybe it looked worse than
I think because there were a couple of early ones that were noticeable. It kind of heightens your radar for bad calls
for the rest
whole
of the game. Yeah.
If those had come just in the fifth inning, we're like, hey, missed one, you probably wouldn't notice as much, but I think you were paying attention to it more closely.
Yeah.
Like the second pitch of the game from Michael King was a perfect pitch.
Yep. Didn't get it
on the inside corner, and he didn't get it. And then, so now you're going like, oh, are we heading toward one of those kind of performances by the home plate umpire? But they all tend to be in the same general vicinity of missing about 5 to 6% of calls.
That's about right.
That's what they do. You can't really miss much if you want to win at Take on Woods. We got some contestants online. Let's get to it. It's time to play our game. Take on Woods, brought to you by Bay Alarm, security and fire alarms for every business. We got you. And speaking of security, someone in the YouTube chat yesterday accused Woods of getting the answers in advance. That's an insult to me. I would never
you're giving
give
him
Woods
the answers?
I want Woods to lose. You know me. I am cheering against him. I'm cheering for the tier ones, and today I'm cheering for Howard, who is our contestant. Hello, Howard.
Morning, guys.
Good morning. I will keep it fair, but I will root for you to try to qualify for our grand prize. It's a trip to the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, a $150 gift card, and 2 tickets to your choice to see Disturbed, Ghost, or Pantera. All 3 shows now on sale at Ticketmaster.com. And you get to pick the category here to give you a little advantage. We've got, without a doubt, 5 song titles and artists with the word without. 7th inning stretch. Tier 1 Scott contributed this one. It is song titles and artists with a Major League Baseball team in the name. And our new category, Lost and Found, 5 musical answers that contain found somewhere. So, without a doubt, 7th inning stretch or Lost and Found. Howard, what would you like to play?
Let's try without a doubt.
Without a doubt. All right, today's category features 5 song titles and artists, all containing the word without. You'll have 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. If you don't know one, you can pass. We'll come back to it if there's still time left on the clock. First question is the 2-second song. Paulie's going to play the music. You need to give me that song title and the artist. Remember, somewhere in it, the word without to score that point. Howard, are you ready to play?
Do it.
All right, let's put 60 seconds on the clock. The category, without a doubt. Howard, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Woods.
Oh, gosh. Pat.
With his distinctive baritone voice, Ivan Dorashuk is the lead singer for which Canadian band famous for the safety dance?
Safety dance is Men at Work.
Incorrect. Eminem announced his 2002 return with a new album in which biting single intended as a sequel to the real Slim Shady?
Without Me.
Correct. Which 1987 lead single from the Joshua Tree album became the first #1 hit for the band U2?
With or Without You.
Correct. 3 Doors Down never quite matched the success of their debut single Kryptonite, but they came close, with which 2003 song about being away from the person you love?
Here Without You.
Correct. Go back to our 2-second song.
Oh, gosh. Clouds Without Dreams.
No, you got 3 right, which is not bad, and you were so close on the other one. You said Men at Work, but it was Men Without Hats. You got to remember the category. There had to be a without in there. And the 2-second song, Eyes Without a Face by Billy Idol. So let's bring in Woods. Stay on the line there, Howard. Your score is now locked in. Woods gets the same 5 questions, the same 60 seconds, but he does it without the category. All right,
Going dry.
Going dry.
Yeah.
Going 60 seconds here. Woods, your time begins when Paul plays the music. Good luck. Let's take on Howard.
Eyes Without a Face, Billy Idol.
Correct. With his distinctive baritone voice, Ivan Dorashuk is the lead singer for which Canadian band famous for the safety dance?
Men Without Hats?
Correct. Eminem announced his 2002 return with a new album and which biting single intended as a sequel to the real Slim Shady?
What's the category? I'll come back to it.
Which 1987 lead single from the Joshua Tree album became the first #1 hit for the band U2?
With or Without You?
Correct. 3 Doors Down never quite matched the success of the debut single Kryptonite, but they came close.
Here Without You.
Correct. Let's go to Eminem announced his 2002 return with a new album and which biting single intended as a sequel to the real
Without Me?
That is correct, and that is a 5 for 5 again for Woods, who wins 5-3. Howard, I'm sorry.
What was the category?
Without a doubt. Eyes Without a Face,
You're like,
Men Without Hats.
What category could have Eminem, Billy Idol, and
Without
Men
Me,
Without Hats?
With or Without You, and Here Without You.
I wrote face, eye, hats. I was like,
Oh, you
what?
write down little,
sometimes
like
I write
sometimes, yeah.
little tips for myself.
No, it was the conjunction. It was without.
Oh my God, that was challenging. That was a grind. That was
5
like,
though.
that was like 90 pitches and 4 1/3, and I mean that was a grind.
All right, you're 2 for 2 this week, and I believe 10 for 10 on questions. We'll have another game for you tomorrow at this time.
Better luck next time.
All right, when we come back, though, we're going to go up to Sacramento, California, and chat with our friend Jesse Agler, the voice of the Padres, and the Incorporator. That is next with Ben and Woods on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Can't wait. But first, let me tell you quickly about my friends over at Loan Pronto. Interest rates have gone down. If you're looking to get cash out of your home's equity, refi now. Refi out of a high rate or do a home improvement project. Loan Pronto can make it happen in just a matter of days. You can take advantage of this opportunity and get tens or even hundreds of thousands out of your home's equity. You could pay off all your credit cards, pay off your car loans. The average homeowner, after doing this, cuts their monthly bills by about $1,000. So that's to you, my friends. Get more info at loanpronto.com. Inflation, higher costs, put a lot of people in a stressful financial situation. But if you do own a home, there is a way out. Loan Pronto has multiple options that can help you get the financial freedom that you deserve. Most homeowners get their cash in less than 2 weeks. Most don't even need an appraisal. Do the smart thing. Stop paying insane rates on your credit cards. Wipe them all out. Get a lower mortgage rate. Get some money for that home improvement project today. All starts by getting in contact with the experts at this Loan Pronto. Go to loanpronto.com or call now 619-207-4336. But if you're sitting at work today, you're thinking about this, just go to loanpronto.com. They'll walk you through it. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, subject to lender approval, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Getting ready to chat with the incorporator Jesse Agler from Sacramento after the Padres took game one of their three-game series against the Athletics 5-4 last night, but I know it's been a busy one on the San Diego roadways, so let's get the latest on traffic first from Kelly Danick.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by your local San Diego County, the UPS stores. Problems along westbound 8. One of them is a collision near Fletcher Parkway. It looks like that is in the center divide. Another crash reported near Lake Murray. Now, this one appears to be blocking the fast lane. And we got this accident just past the 163. That's over to the right shoulder. Traveling on westbound 52, right at the northbound 15 connector. Crash over to the right shoulder. And on the coastline, hit and run accident, northbound 5, right before the racetrack. Those vehicles are in the center divide. Your local San Diego County, the UPS store locations are hosting a shred event from April 7th through April 15th. 50% off shredding services. Visit theupsstore.com for the location nearest you. See store for details. And Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And joining us right now, not only to talk some Padres baseball, but maybe a state civics lesson as well from California's capital. Jesse Agler is with us here on 97.3 The Fan. How's Sacramento, Jesse?
It's good. I visited with my assemblyman yesterday, wanted to make sure that everything in San Marcos was being looked after.
Good.
And then I said, no, I'm kidding.
How many people
great.
can name their assemblyman? I don't even know.
No idea.
No, I don't either. And if anybody could, Ben, it would be you or
I know.
and
Yeah.
the fact that neither one of us can is pretty sad. But it's my first time here, so it's nice to be able to check a city off the box. You know, I like to be a world explorer. And it's a great little area where we're staying downtown, right across the river from the ballpark. Very, very impressed with Sacramento. I understand it'll be quite oppressive here in the summer, but just a beautiful, first couple of days here. Padre fans all over the place, which is fun. And nice little break from the usual, I would say.
Well, let's be honest. You could have gone to Death Valley and it would have been better than your Chicago experience. Because anywhere you went was going to be better than Wrigley Field. And I think for the players too, my God, like they even looked lighter and happier being out on under the sun. And Chicago was pretty nasty, man. It was nasty looking baseball too.
Yeah, no, I think those two things are probably connected. The Cubs didn't play particularly sharp either.
Yeah.
And look, I don't like when I hear in sports people say, oh, well, it's the warm weather team and the cold weather team. It's not like the Cubs trained in that all winter. Those guys are all from Texas and California and the Dominican, like our guys. So, it's not baseball weather. It's kind of that simple. And look, we all know it happens, at the start of the year in a bunch of those places. And it was even colder there yesterday. The Tigers moved their games to the afternoon this week because it's going to be so cold in Detroit, where we go in a couple of weeks, by the way. So hopefully spring springs by the time we get there. But it's not great baseball weather, and it's not going to lead to great baseball most of the time. But it happens. It is what it is. You get it out of the way, you move on. And I'm with you. Everybody looked more like themselves last night, and I think that was a big reason why.
And I saw it's opening day in Cleveland, where the temperature is currently 27, feels like 8.
God.
How about this?
How about this?
When they were in San Diego last week, the Guardians, It was 71 degrees in Cleveland.
Oh, they missed it.
What? Oh my God. Nobody.
Their guys
deserves
were
that.
apoplectic talking about that.
Yeah, I mean,
And
nobody
they go
deserves
home
that.
to 27 in baseball.
Instead of the 71 where it was in Cleveland.
Oh.
That's insane.
Could have been
man.
in San Diego this week. Would have been
Insane.
perfect.
They gotta figure out a way to do like a malleable schedule for
Yeah.
those teams at the beginning of the season. Like look at the 10-day forecast and be like, all right, hold on. You're actually going to start at home, and then we're going to.
Yeah, it's just
unbelievable.
it's like ever changing and ever evolving.
Yeah.
You have it's a nightmare for TJ Lasita and then the traveling secretaries, I'm sure. But holy cow, man, it's so good to see this team playing so well, Jesse. My gosh, man, and salvaging that game in Chicago was so massive. Coming out last night, bending but not breaking. Soderstrom is a really, really good player. Put a couple of good swings on it, man. But other than that, these guys, they didn't let some of the miscues snowball and break them. And I thought Michael King held in just enough to turn it over to that really good bullpen, man. They're so fun to watch.
They really are. And, King walks two of the first three guys. And, my first thought, and I'm sure I wasn't alone in this, was like, uh-oh, here we go again.
Yeah.
After the 23 walks over the weekend against the Cubs. And, he got the one double play, walked another guy. And I was like, oh, my gosh. And then that was it. He didn't walk another batter. The bullpen, unsurprising at this point, didn't walk a batter. The rest of the way, kind of contended with a pretty tight strike zone, probably too tight at times last night. Tony and I talked about it a good bit because you could just see from our position Michael King's frustration, but he wasn't allowing it to be outward. He did a really good job every time he was squeezed or didn't get a little bit of a call. He did a really good job of not letting it kind of get to him, and that goes to what you're saying about things not snowballing. But he did get a little bark off at the plate umpire.
He did.
John Libka when he walked off the field. I don't know if they had it on TV.
They did.
We
They
noticed
did.
it. Okay, good. Yeah. So he made sure to let that known, and yeah, he did a really good job of like showing the mental toughness, hanging in, under those circumstances. And look, they made enough plays. It wasn't a perfectly played game by any stretch of the imagination, but that's fine. Perfection is a great thing to aspire to, but it's probably not realistic most nights. And so you got to be able to win those games when you're not perfect. And that's exactly what Michael King did. It's exactly what the defense did. And it's exactly what the offense did.
Talking to Jesse Agler here on Ben and Woods. And Jesse, we had a tier one in our YouTube stream this morning who said, settle down, everybody. The Padres are just playing beyond their capabilities right now. And I don't know, Woods and I push back a little bit. Certainly the record, they're not going to go 9-2 every 11 games all season long. No one will, but we didn't really see the Padres doing anything, like that we didn't expect them to do. Their star players are mostly playing well right now. The bullpen's good, but we thought it would be good. The starting pitching has been a little up and down. We're not seeing anything that they can't really sustain necessarily. How do you view it?
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I don't really know where that take is coming from unless they just meant, from a win-loss perspective, which sure. And like, yeah, Fernando's not going to hit 381. Merrill's not going to hit 378, which is where they're sitting right now. But that's, because it's April 8th. I don't think that means they're playing above their capabilities. I think it means they got off to a good start. Will there be slumps? Yeah, of course. You hope that they're minimal slumps. But Fernando right now is ultra locked in. From, I think literally the first or second at bat on opening day, Tony has been regularly talking on the broadcast. And I'm sure on Gwynn and Chris, which you can hear afternoons 2 to 6 on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan, about how locked in Fernando is and about how like the chase just doesn't exist right now. That down and away slider that, can be vexing at times. He's like, there's a couple flinches maybe, but that's about it. I'm using Tony words now. He's like really on time at the plate. He's really locked in. He's obviously hitting the ball hard. That one last night was hilarious. And, again, I'm not saying that it's going to be 380 when you look up at the end of the year for Fernando Tatis Jr., but he's playing the kind of baseball I expect him to play. And that goes for Jackson. And that goes for Manny, who hasn't even homered yet, and Arise, who's just now getting going. So, no, I think what we're seeing looks like the brand of baseball that they're going to play. And again, it was near perfect, against Atlanta and Cleveland. It wasn't perfect Sunday. It wasn't perfect yesterday, but they won both of those games, and that's going to be the way it has to go.
Talking to Jesse Agler on Ben and Woods this morning, and have we talked to Jesse since Merrill? We did, didn't we?
I think it was
the contract. No, it was the day game.
It was yeah. Okay, so it was like the next day, I think, that it happened. So Jackson, Merrill, extended. Obviously, watching him, I said it earlier, watching him last night not being able to play, it looked like he was at his dog's burial. I mean, he looked so dejected to not be out there with his boys. And, it was crazy because that day that extension happened. Then the Red Sox extended their guy, Christian it's Campbell. And then Ketel Marte signs an extension. Then a couple days later, Vladdy Jr. with the massive $500 million extension. People are wanting to lock these guys up, Jesse. What were your thoughts on all those?
It's good business, right? I mean, it's the right idea. And, the other thing is, I think when you look at the big mega deals, and look, Jackson's is obviously a very big deal, but I'm gonna talk about like the Vladdy Soto type deals. It's amazing how much these things have gone up since like Manny and Fernando signed.
Yeah.
And I think that's like such an important thing to keep in mind, because I am sure for like a good portion of fans out there, when you see, and I don't remember the exact numbers for those guys, but when you see 13 years, 350 million or whatever for somebody like that, you're thinking, oh my gosh, 13 years, he's going to be 38, 39 years old. It's going to be backloaded. There's going to be all this money at the end. It's going to be Eric Hosmer, blah, blah, blah. Like, look at just a couple of years later, how big these deals are. You're seeing a 500 for Vladdy, the 700 for Soto. Telling you right now, there is a guy active in Major League Baseball today, very likely, who will sign $1 billion with a $B contract. Like that guy is already in the big leagues. I don't know who it is, but like that's very, very possible that the first guy to sign for $1 billion is already in the majors. And like those deals at the end, they're going to look like bargains. Like it's going to be no sweat off anybody's back. And I think that's kind of like the hidden thing about these super long-term deals that, as fans, because we're not professionals and we're not accountants and we're not economists, we can sometimes forget about it. Like, okay, yeah, he's going to get $30 million when he's 39 years old, but like, look what everybody else is going to be getting that far down the line. And, I think that's like a really important thing to keep in mind when we talk about these big deals, and something I think we maybe don't talk about enough. It's, like I am so unworried about the back end of those contracts when I see these numbers start to pop up for these guys. And by the way, my sense would be it's only going to continue to go that direction, for these superstars. So, it's fascinating to watch how quickly it goes up. It's kind of like a crazy housing market almost. And, you get in at one of those prices and then you look around a couple of years later and it's like your home has doubled in value. And you're like, wow, man, we got in lucky. We got in right at the right time. And it's a wild thing to see around the league. I'm
sitting here racking my brain on who the $1 billion player is. I'm just sitting here hoping it's not James Wood, from the Nationals, who hit a monster shot last night. I'm going, who could it be? Who could be the $1 billion player, at knowing right now they're probably 19, 20 years old, either in the big leagues right now or about to break through to the big leagues. Yeah. It may be one of those Red Sox kids. I mean, their three-headed monster that they got seems to be just can't miss all three of them. Really, Roman Anthony and the guy we just mentioned, and then Marcelo Mayer from Eastlake. Just a glut of talent out there.
And they got rid of the GM who got them all.
Yeah, they sure did, man. They sure did. That's crazy. Ben, are you doing Incorporator today, or
no,
Jesse?
You're gonna do some Incorporator.
I'm gonna do it for
now.
you. I liked the slang thing last week. Savvy B, you knocked it out of the park right before first pitch. It was a really good way to do it. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen this video. It made the round on Instagram, and it was like the former mayor of Philadelphia. And we thought, people are so insulting these days, and they call you bad names, and they're mean and curse words. Do you have the full clip, Paulie? All right, listen to this, Jesse. This is the mayor of Philadelphia back in the 70s, I believe, and a reporter.
Ed Reindl?
Maybe it is.
Sure.
And the guy comes to his house, and he wants to interview him for some malfeasance.
You're a crumb creep, and I wouldn't take that off of nobody. And there's three of you, and I'm by myself. And when it's over, there'll be nothing to it, win or lose, okay? But you don't have the courage. You're a real crumb bum. Put that on camera.
Put it on camera.
You're a crumb bum, the three of you, and I challenge you. You're a coward. You're a yellow sneak.
Yeah.
And if you want to, now what I say, let's forget all the rules of this great country we live in. I will go back to that wall with the three of you. Just me.
There is a
You're
winner
a
here.
crumb creep coward.
That's how insults should be delivered.
Really Bert Lahr, Cowardly Lion, Wizard of Oz vibe going on
Yeah,
here.
Isn't that
it's
genius?
amazing that in the 70s people could have sounded like they were in the 20s. That's
No.
remarkable. Like, is he hanging out with Al Capone on the weekend?
It's he looks like he was in those circles, and I took such delight at that.
That's great.
I said we need to start calling people crumb creeps and crumb bums more. So your word tonight is, of course,
You're a real crumb bum.
Crumb bum.
Crumb
All
bum.
That's beautiful.
It's greatness, man. It is greatness. Greatness.
Now, I don't think it'd be fair for you to call Tony Gwynn Jr. a crumb bum.
No.
So
I would never.
See
I
how
would
you can
never.
work that one in tonight, Jesse. At 7:05.
Dave Marcus, maybe.
Dave, we
true.
wondered if it would be Dave. Yeah, he's a real
But
crumb
possibly
bum.
in the booth next door. Who knows?
Maybe. And if it was, it's the other Max Muncy, so you're not going to call him a crumb bum. This Max Muncy, he's a thorn in my side too.
He had, no, of course. Like when he got that hit last night, I was like, oh, of course, Max Muncy.
Of course, Max Muncy gets a hit.
Like it doesn't. There could be another Max Muncy that pops up in 25 years, and he'll have a big hit against the Padres. I just, as long as another Justin Turner or Charlie Blackmon doesn't make it to the major league.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Thank you,
Jesse. Have a good rest of the trip in Sacramento. We'll see you back at Petco Park this weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Jesse Agler, the Incorporator. Listen for Crumb Bum tonight. 7:05 first pitch, 6:05 Eco Water SoCal pregame show with Sam Levitt here on 97.3 The Fan. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
I had something in my mind
You're
and I
a
lost
yellow
it.
snake.
You're a real crumb
You're
bum.
a real crumb bum. I can't wait to hear that on the broadcast tonight. I cannot wait.
He'll make
You're
it
a
fun.
coward. You're a yellow sneak.
Yellow sneak. I like how he says yas. I'll take yas back behind the wall.
All three of
All
yous.
three of yas. I love that.
Oh, I know. I was going to say, watching the broadcast last night, had some real nostalgia seeing Mark Kotze, Phil Nevin, sitting there in the athletics dugout as kind of the brain trust for Sacramento and sitting there. And I always wish well for both of those guys.
No
Obviously
doubt.
not when they're playing the Padres, but Mark Kotze, such a great guy.
Great
And
dude, man.
I think Phil Nevin is just classic Padre. Had some temper tantrums during his days, but
don't we all, Ben?
And I love both of those guys, and I'm happy to see them together again. Gives me real early 2000s San Diego Padres vibes to see that dugout in Sacramento.
Yeah, I hope they lose the next two, but
Of
after
course,
that, go
yeah.
on a nice long winning streak.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want the owner to be successful,
right? It's such a catch-22.
But the
But you want
players,
Kotze and
players
the
are kind of fun.
The players
with Rooker
are really
and
likable, man.
Soderstrom.
It's one of the most likable teams in baseball. Honestly, when you go up and down the lineup, there's Lawrence Butler. My kid Bo loves Lawrence Butler. Like, some good young players, man.
Exactly. All right, we've got 1 hour to go, including Paulie Reindl with some headlines in the Reindl Report and more. Stick around. Ben and Woods continuing until 10 o'clock on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. We'll be right back. Game 2 of the Padres series tonight. Dylan Cease on the mound. We talked earlier, Woods, about the Padres needing a deeper effort tonight from Dylan Cease after using the back end of their bullpen in each of the last 2 days. You'd like to give those guys the day off tonight, if possible. But if it's a close game, I mean, who knows who's available? Robert Suarez only threw 9 pitches, but for the second straight day, you just this early in the season, I'm sure Mike Schilt and Ruben Niebla would love to avoid using guys 3 straight days.
Yeah, Wandy and Yuki are really fresh. Alec Jacob hasn't pitched since Saturday. Like there's some options down there for sure. I mean, Robert Suarez, he's thrown 26 pitches in the last 2 days. Logan Gillespie, I don't even know if he's still on the team right now. Jason Adams thrown 34 last. You'd love to give him a day off.
You can't bring back Omar Cruz though unless someone goes on the
weeks.
injury list.
That's
so
right.
That's and then some of the guys you said you saw Sean Reynolds was running.
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
I follow him on Instagram, and he had posted a video yesterday of him in a dead sprint, and he had the hourglass emoji. Like just a matter of time till he gets back. What a nice lift that would be to the San Diego Padres bullpen as well. Nasty Sean Reynolds. So yeah, that's good news. They haven't updated. I just saw his Instagram and he was in a dead sprint. And when you have a foot problem and you're running a dead sprint, that's a good thing.
Definitely a positive sign. And I haven't heard much on Brian Hoeing coming back, but it's incredible the Padres bullpen has performed the way it has without even being at full strength yet this early in the season. But this would be a good night if they could get a little extra from Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
Would help things out. Going up against a lefty. Now, it's a little early to say there's been a trend, but lefties have had more success against the Padres so far this year than righties.
It was opening day Sale,
who was good. The Padres won the game.
They won the game.
But he was good.
Then you had Matthew Boyd and Shota Imanaga. Are those the only 3 lefties they faced this year?
At least 3. If there was one other.
Was there one in Cleveland? Did they
there might have
lefty?
been one, but for the most part, the lefties have had more success, which doesn't make a ton of sense. But
it does in the fact that you just don't see them a lot. It's reps. It's just reps. It's just you don't see a lot of them. And so you get maybe one or a rotation or whatever. But Jeffrey Springs is a big, tall left-hander. Benjamin stands about
tall
6.
Jeff.
Yeah, tall Jeff stands about 6'3". And yeah, so I think we'll put, again, you look at it and you go, all right, well, what's the lineup look like tonight? I'm not sure about Jackson Merrill coming back to the lineup tonight. I would like to see Julio Iglesias. Wow. Jose Iglesias.
You want to see a crooner in the Padres lineup?
To all the girls I've loved before. Idiot. I'm tired. Jose Iglesias. I would like to see him get some looks. What did we get him for? He barely plays.
He has been very absent in the first couple of weeks of the season.
Play him.
Curtis may need to write jokes for us for the roast this week. He says, well, of course, lefties fare better. They get to face Yuli Gurriel.
Too bad we're not roasting the Padres on Friday, right?
Good one, Curtis.
So, yeah, I mean, okay. This is why you have now, does Crony sit tonight against, he hit the bomb last night,
tough.
So it's one of those decisions that you got to make if you're Shilty. But yeah, this is why you got Jose Iglesias to face left-handed pitching. And so you would imagine Lockridge will be back out there.
Merrill gets a second day off just because you want to rest the
lefty and
hamstring
rest the
and it's a
hammy.
lefty at the same time.
Yeah, maybe.
It's a possibility. Certainly, I would be thinking that way. Get Lockridge back in the lineup, but then you don't have a righty for left field. You're going to have to either Sheets is going to have to face a lefty and play left, or Hayward's back out there. He did have a hit yesterday, but obviously he and Gurriel both off to slow starts offensively. And we talked about it a lot yesterday. How long do you ride with the slow starting Hayward and Gurriel? We had Dennis Lynn on, and he mentioned Memorial Day is when teams evaluate sometimes their rosters, and I think we both agreed you're not waiting until Memorial Day.
No,
if Yuli Gurriel is still hitting under 100, you can't ride with that for 2 months. You can give him a couple of weeks to try to figure it out and get going. Everyone deserves an opportunity. If they made the roster, just pull the plug instantly if you go 0 for 8 or whatever. But you can't go 2 months and just keep putting him in the DH spot for offers every single night.
But I mean, again, like, will he be your designated hitter tonight? My guess is probably yeah.
I would think almost certainly.
Probably yeah. He will be in there, and you could do Iglesias at second for Crony. If Merrill's still out, what do you do? Well, you Hayward in left and Lockridge in center, and take your chances.
I think that's probably.
Janine said sit X. I mean, no, because
not against the lefty.
Not against the lefty, and he did hit.
It's ball
hard, barreled it last night. If they insist on playing Jake, yeah, I don't know. I would probably sit Jake for Jose. I'll be calling him Julio Iglesias for the rest of the year on accident.
I've done it a couple of times.
Have you?
So not on the air.
Enrique
Iglesias.
It's the Jose and the Julio.
Yeah.
Sound.
It just popped in my head. But no, this is why we got him.
So Goose says Oscar Gonzalez incoming. You did add him to the 40-man, which made me think they were about to bring him up. But then I saw yesterday. So that was the opt-out. It was going to trigger if he wasn't on the 40-man last week, which is why they put him on the 40-man, and they had to, Tom Cosgrove got DFA'd to make a spot. That was so you didn't lose Oscar. It wasn't necessarily because you had imminent plans to bring him up, but it is a possibility.
Well, I mean, if this Merrill thing, God forbid, goes to a 10-day IL or something, you'll see him or Connor Joe up. Connor Joe would be a nice piece to have off the bench.
I mean, today is a day where it would make a lot of sense.
Yep.
When you're facing a lefty, you're down a couple of guys, and you don't have any other righties to come off the bench or anything
other than your backup catcher, but you don't want to do that. So yeah, I'm that's kind of where you're at right now. But listen, with Dylan Cease on the bump, you feel pretty confident with Manny and Tatis and Arise and all those guys hitting the way they are right now. You feel pretty confident. So 100%.
Had a conversation with my dad last night as we were watching the game about Manny. There was a particular play where he hit that ball deep into the hole, and the throw was a little off target, but Manny wasn't.
Your dad, Manny needs to hustle guy.
He said Woods isn't going to defend Manny here, but if he had gone a little harder, he might have made that a close play or even got an infield single out of it. And I'm not going to dispute that. Manny might have stolen one there, but I think at this point, we know Manny's thinking. We know he's trying to stay on the field, and we know he does that unbelievable job of staying on the field. And the risk reward for him is just the equation doesn't make sense in his head, the math wise. Now, the other part of it is, Manny's slug is not, he had a couple doubles last night. One of them was hit pretty well. The other one was just a blooper. Hasn't hit any home runs. After that first pitch home run in spring training, he hasn't really slugged much. He had one more home run in spring training. But Manny always gets off to slow starts.
Yeah, always.
And usually it's reflected in the batting average. Now, this year,
it's 333.
It's not reflected in the batting average at all. Manny is hitting 333 with the 378 on base percentage. The only thing that's not really there is the slug right now. So imagine now when Manny does actually heat up with the slug as it gets warmer, he won't be trying to dig himself out of the 220 hole that sometimes he is in April.
And again, I'm not saying your dad's wrong, and I kind of thought the same thing. But there's 24 baseball players in the big leagues, not just Manny. I'm not just his only defender. There's 24 baseball players in the league, Ben, that I look at and go, do what you want, right? Like I trust you to make the right decision.
That's a good word. That's trust.
That's it. That's all it is. It's not blind loyalty. It's I trust that you're going to know to pick your spots. That's all it is. It's the same. Bro, I got little leaguers I feel that way about. I trust you. I trust you to make your own decisions here.
So put it this way. Do you think that Manny is just trying to get by doing the minimum?
The bare minimum? No. And that's where that trust comes from.
Is Manny someone who knows baseball incredibly well? I don't think anyone's going to dispute that Manny's baseball IQ is off the charts. One of the greatest of all time baseball IQ.
100%.
So can we trust that Manny's calculus is probably like, we're talking like, MIT, Caltech math calculus in his head about exactly when I need, because we see Manny hustle all the time. 100%. He has 5 stolen bases this year. He's among the league leaders in stolen bases. It's not that Manny doesn't want to try or hustle. He has a calculus in his head, and he has come up with the formula that he feels is the right amount to both maximize his talent and his play on the field, but also stay healthy. And that's his calculus.
Like I said, man, there's a couple dozen guys that if you're the manager, it's so nice to have those guys because you're just like, I trust you. I trust that you know when to go. I promise you, Mike Schild has not given him one single steal sign this year. I promise you, not one. He is on his own. He can do what he wants. And I think, after that long in the league, a guy that knows himself that well, and it's not just him. There's a bunch of guys that you don't have to go get in their face about stuff. And I trust him implicitly. I trust Luis Arraez to hit. I trust him to hit. That's why I did not even panic a little bit about Luis Arraez starting the season 0 for 14 or 15.
He's already up to 279.
Right.
I mean, at this pace, he'll be hitting 400 by mid-May.
There's just those guys in baseball that I look at and go, yeah, I'm not worried about you. I'm not.
So yeah, exactly. It's like, I agree with you. Trust was the perfect word. You either trust Manny or you don't. And after a few years, I trust Manny's judgment. Now, will he make a bad decision every once in a while? Yeah, because everybody in life does.
Will he give you two that you weren't expecting? Absolutely. I mean, there's no question. It's a long game, a long season. Being out there is paramount.
And part of that calculus may also be they knew who I am. Manny Machado. They don't have to think about me. And all of a sudden, when they don't,
correct,
then I steal one on them. And that's part of being Manny.
Tony says entitlement in Major League Baseball is a real factor. Tony, entitlement in everywhere is a real factor. It's absolutely a real thing. And entitlement is earned, though. I have a problem with entitlement when it's not earned. And I think baseball players feel the same way. If you do what some of these guys do on a yearly basis, yes, you should be entitled. You're entitled. But you have to earn that entitlement. And in my opinion, he absolutely has.
But it's not as though Manny doesn't put in the work or preparation.
Of course.
He absolutely does. And we all know this.
Of course.
All know this. All right, we'll take time out. Again, still have the Reindl Report coming up.
I didn't know your dad boomered that hard at home.
He did a little bit sometimes.
It happens to me too.
He told me to send out a Hunter Renfroe tweet at some point as well. Still misses Hunter Renfroe.
God loves Hunter.
Loves him some Hunter Renfroe.
Yeah.
Haven't seen Hunter in a while.
If Hunter could play third, your dad would rather have Hunter playing third than Manny.
Also, a story.
Hunter's the son he never had.
It's the son he never had.
Exactly.
No, Sam is the son he never had.
No, they had both of us, actually. SDFC, some rumors that have been out there about acquiring another major international star. Might have to throw some cold water on those coming up after a check of traffic. Ben Woods on 97.3 The Fan. First, talk about SDFatLoss.com. Summer is right around the corner, everybody. The weather is going to be nice. You're going to be in shorts, like Woods with his nice white
We'll never be
legs.
in shorts.
He won't be in
ever.
shorts, but the rest
But
of you
guys can be.
You might be out there, and if you want to look good in time for summer, there is still time with the SDFatLoss.com program because it's fast weight loss. 2 months, up to 10 to 20% of your body weight. Do the math. I mean, if you weigh 200 pounds, that's 20 to 40 pounds in just 2 months. It'll be gone before you know it. Summer will be here, and you'll look and feel better. And you'll do it without any exercise, without any injections, and by eating normal foods from the grocery store like steak and chicken. You don't have to buy any shakes or bars or mixes. I did it. Scraby and Ello did it. They lost 77 pounds. I lost 40 pounds in 60 days. So many tier ones have lost thousands of pounds now here in San Diego. Join the army at SDFatLoss.com. Schedule your free consultation at their website and then take advantage of the $200 off spring special all month long to get to a new you by the time summer arrives at SDFatLoss.com. That's SDFatLoss.com. Results may vary.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
So we know SDFC off to a terrific start. 4 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws in their first 7 games. They will be on the road this Saturday at the Colorado Rapids. They have 2 designated players, Andres Dreyer and, of course, Chucky Lozano, who had his first goal in this last weekend's 3-0 win over the Seattle Sounders. But there has been, I guess you call it hot stove rumors around the world of soccer that San Diego FC is also pursuing another huge name, Kevin De Bruyne from Manchester City, who announced just this past week that he is indeed going to be done at the end of the summer with his English club. 33-year-old has been a star player but starting to get a little bit older at the end of his career, maybe looking for a change, and he has been linked a couple of times in rumors with San Diego FC as a potential another giant signing that could add, in the middle of the season, come inject like a trade deadline pickup in baseball to, supercharge the team heading into the postseason. But yesterday, a little cold water thrown on those rumors. ESPN reporting, and I don't know how nobody knew this, but apparently Inter Miami, which is the team where Messi plays, holds something called discovery rights for Kevin De Bruyne. He's on like some sort of list where they get essentially the first right to sign him.
Right of refusal.
If he wants to, right of refusal if he wants to come to MLS.
Why? How do you get that?
It says MLS rules state clubs can sign up to 5 players to their discovery list at any given time. By listing a player, that team holds the exclusive right to begin negotiations first without competition from other MLS clubs. Is this just like a shouting dibs sort of thing?
Paul Skeens.
Dibs.
So if you're AJ Preller, get Paul Skeens on your list. ASAP.
Not exactly sure.
Paul Skeens. Love Paul Skeens.
But Tyler Heaps, who's the sporting director, the GM of San Diego FC, was reached for a quote, and he said, quote, "I've had conversations with De Bruyne, but I'll tell you what, those wages won't fit our budget at the moment in terms of what his expectations
Got
are.
it. So a little pricey for the boys.
They're already spending on Dreyer and Chucky.
And money well spent, by the way.
It has been. And maybe it's a negotiating tactic. I mean, if I'm De Bruyne, I want as much as I can get and ask for the moon, and you may have to lower your expectations at some point. Do you want to come over and play with Messi? Do you want to play with this exciting new expansion team on the other side of the country with Chucky and a lot of it, a lot of energy at Snapdragon Stadium? I mean, I think they'd both be appealing landing spots. The question is the finances and now this added wrinkle of the discovery rights for Inter Miami that they apparently get first crack at Kevin De Bruyne if he does want to come over for MLS.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know of any other. That's the one that I'd seen rumored the most, and I'm sure there's other really, really talented players, Ben, that you could grab at that deadline, and hope they do. Hope they do. The momentum so far for this team has been it's insane. It's an absolute dream start for SDFC. It's converting, people like me that are making it a point to get by the television to watch these games. They have really, really inspired a lot of people, and San Diego's a great hotbed for soccer, man. It's been really fun to see. Had they come out, limping and feeble as most expansion teams do. I don't know. It's just been you couldn't have written it up a little bit better for these guys.
We love the rhythm of baseball and games pretty much every night all summer long.
Oh yeah.
But I think I kind of had missed the once a week
change of pace, man.
Routine of all right, we got one game a week. Here it is. Let's lock in for a couple of hours like we did when the NFL was here. We missed that kind of weekly routine. Okay, it's Saturday night. It's time to play. Occasionally they'll move it around, but most of the time, Saturday night, let's lock in for an SDFC game and see how they do this week. And
2 hours. You give 2 hours of your time.
Feels like a big event knowing, hey, you don't get another chance for this. Now, as the season goes on and they play in those other like leagues, cups, there will be some midweek games that aren't necessarily MLS games that they'll also play. But for the most part, it's an every, once a weekend, every sort of thing like the NFL is over the course of the season. And I kind of missed that old routine. And now we've got it a little bit. I've watched at least part, if not all, of every game that they've played so far.
Same. Yeah. Ryan says it's not necessarily a negotiating tactic. He could go to Saudi Arabia and get hundreds of millions. It's just a matter of what he wants to do. Nice to have that kind of power.
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
options.
The Saudis will pay. But other guys who have gone over, who was the last one who went over, wasn't all that happy over there. So you've got to combine quality of life and where you want to be
and
with how much money
and what you want to
get.
do. Yeah.
And I have no idea. I'm assuming Kevin De Bruyne has made quite a bit of money already in his career. So do you want to come to America? Do you want to come to San Diego? You want to go to Florida? Both nice, certainly in different ways of where you want to live. Or do you want to just maximize your money again and do a couple of years in Saudi at the end of your career? But within MLS, it might be a bit of a tactic in terms of pitting. If Miami doesn't sign you, then, pitting other teams against each other and trying to at least get as much as you can get if you're already kind of dead set on coming to the United States.
Well, yeah, I mean, you said off the air, you're willing to leave the door open for Saudi to hire us at this point. Media is tough. It's a tough business these days. No doors are closed.
Like our version of Live Golf.
Ben and Woods in Saudi Arabia.
Live Ben and Woods Radio.
Yeah, all in.
That sweet oil money flowing our way.
I mean, got to check your soul.
No, we have standards and pride. And we can't be bought, Woods.
Well, I think we used to.
Everyone can be bought.
I think I can be bought now.
I think everybody can be bought.
Yeah.
Very few people can't be bought.
Yeah. It's quality of life thing.
Now
too.
they regret it. John Rahm has been basically forgotten.
Pretty
since he
much
left for Live.
Pretty
He'll
much.
be back to the Masters this week. I think he's like the fourth favorite in the tournament, but I couldn't tell you one thing he's done since he went to Live.
It's crazy.
Not a thing.
I can't tell you anything any of those guys have done.
He was one of the hottest rising stars, most likable golfers in the world.
It's crazy.
And he has just disappeared for the last year plus.
And look, man, they have literally like all the star power over there. I mean, truly, like the stars, like the guys that make you want to tune into a golf tournament, even if you don't really like
the
golf.
Villains, at least.
The villains, right? And they've got them all. Don't know what any of them have done.
I don't really know.
I know. It's nuts.
It's almost as if they don't exist anymore, except for the majors this week.
That's
right.
You
can see them again and go,
I miss those guys.
No idea if their form is good.
Yeah,
or even
but I miss them. I miss seeing them.
I do too. They add to, that's why they want to try to, combine the tours again so you can have the drama of these guys competing against each other more than just 4 times out of the year.
Right.
It's just not quite the same.
I know. I'm with you.
All right, let's take a timeout. We'll get to the Reindl Report. Paulie's got some headlines. What do you have for us today on the Reindl Report?
You guys got to all my soccer and golf stories. So,
Sorry, buddy.
Usually where Paulie likes to head.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the more disturbing stories. I don't know how we missed this for Don't Do This, but I got an update.
All right. Can't wait.
All right. Last segment of Ben and Woods on the way. After a quick timeout on San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And as Ben said, we cannot be bought. That's why you should go to Underdog today and download the Underdog app right now, because there's a lot of baseball going on and still basketball season. When your favorite stars score buckets,
it can be rented.
We're alley-ooping you to an opportunity to win money from watching sports with Underdog. All you got to do is choose whether a player will go higher or lower on one of their stats in basketball. Obviously, points, assists, rebounds, and more. In baseball, hits, home runs, strikeouts, all of that good stuff. All your favorite leagues, all your favorite teams, all your favorite stars. Create entries with all basketball picks, or you can mix and match across other sports as well. Download the Underdog app today. Sign up using the promo code WOODS to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Join in on the fun when you sign up with promo code WOODS. Claim your special offer today. Get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon first deposit. Must be 18 and over, 19 and over in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 and over in Colorado for some games, 21 and over in Massachusetts and Arizona. Present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line, 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hey players, things are about to get real here in San Diego. Introducing the all-new Hamul Casino Resort. With a 200-room hotel tower, exciting new eats and drinks, plenty of new places to play, and a luxe spa and salon. Hello, rooftop pool and deck. It's where players can play their hearts out and enjoy all the perks that come with it. It gets real this summer at the all-new Hamul Casino Resort, the players' place.
Yes, they're sitting here, San Diego Padres, with the best record in Major League Baseball.
Drink it in, buddy. It's not going to last forever.
Might not to last until tomorrow. You never know. But it would be nice if they kept winning and, held on to this for a little while. Just a half a game ahead of the Dodgers. Giants both lost yesterday. Padres trying to make it 3 wins in a row tonight at 7:05. And again, Eco Water SoCal pregame show with Sam Levitt at 6:05. I know, but Paulie's got some good stories for us in the Reindl Report. Are we ready to throw to traffic and get to the headlines? All right, then we will do so right now.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center, protecting San Diego after accidents or injury, here's Kelly Danick.
Traffic is sponsored by Crystal Geyser, Alpine Spring. Well, some of our westbound freeways are having some problems. Westbound 52 before the 15 crash up to the right shoulder. Now, westbound 8's got that beat. Got this accident at Fletcher Parkway. A couple vehicles in the center divide. Then up ahead near Lake Murray, collision blocking the 2 left lanes. Then another crash kind of in the same area. Those vehicles are over to the right shoulder. What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? They always bottle their Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source. And all their bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from their own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source. I'm Kelly Danick with Ben & Woods, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
And get things started here with our today's edition of the Reindl Report.
Now tuned into the greatest.
Welcome to the Reindl Report with Paul Reindl.
Hi, Paul.
All right.
2 stories from the world of sports that we haven't gotten to yet.
We'll start off in Major League Baseball.
And 1 story that you didn't know you needed.
Are you laughing, biatch?
It's the Reindl Report
Hey, Paul, how you doing? Okay, how are you?
on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you ready to bless the mood? I need some help, please.
That was good.
Can I get a oh yeah?
All right.
All right.
Boy. Did you get your chicken salad sandwich yesterday?
I didn't, man.
I need money says he had one in
Saw
honor
that.
of you.
I need one.
I was thinking about one yesterday.
God, that's all I want now. I had leftover pot roast. It was good.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
The Reindl Report's all about making chicken salad out of chicken. You know what? At the end of the show.
That's right.
Paulie, it's up to you.
Yeah, this
What an
was
intro.
a very disturbing story. Come out. This was last week that it came out, and an update here for the Rio Rancho High School Junior Varsity Baseball Team.
Okay, JV freshman.
Baseball team, who was suspended. The whole team was suspended, and they're still suspended as they're trying to figure out and get to the bottom of what happened when a member of the Rio Rancho High School baseball team, the JV team, went over to the other dugout, I guess, or maybe it was before the game. I don't
Probably
know.
before the game.
But he took the water cooler that was designated for La Cueva High School, and he urinated in it.
He pee-peed in it.
And everybody on the team drank some water that day. And so now the player has not been identified.
He's a minor.
He's a minor. He's only 16 years old. So they have not named him at all in any of the police reports, but he is facing 15 counts of battery. The Rio Rancho Police Department announced over the weekend.
So wait, how do we know how he got caught?
I don't.
I don't know exactly how,
because obviously if
we don't know who it is.
If they had seen it, no one would have drank the
Correct.
water. So clearly no one saw him do it because they all drank the water.
Yeah,
Now,
the police department has not given a lot of information on the case because they're still
there's a minor
investigating.
involved.
It's allegations.
There's a
Now,
minor
if it
involved.
was, it must have been really diluted because if the first person went like, that's gross, no one else is going to drink the water. So it obviously wasn't so much that it didn't stop everyone from drinking it.
Yeah.
So after everyone had drank it, maybe they go, this water tastes, everyone has bad tasting water except for Woods.
Yeah, I have eco
'cause he's
water.
got eco water.
Simply the best.
You have it occasionally. You just dismiss it. You don't necessarily think
somebody peed in here.
You just think, pipes, whatever. You just got some bad tap water.
I'm
And it's like,
guessing
what?
based on how it went in high school, he told his buddies.
Of course,
the whole team knew.
Everybody knew. Watch what I did.
Did you see what so and so did?
Watch these guys. They're going to drink. Of course he did, Ben.
And then when the whole team gets sick or something.
You ever been in a dugout?
I doubt it would make you sick necessarily.
I mean, it's sterile, but I don't. That doesn't mean I want to.
Not want it. Yeah, it's
But
still
all it takes is
inappropriate.
one person to tell somebody else who tells somebody else, and then it gets back to
Bro, he 100% did it before the game. Told his buddies, you don't do that out of just to satisfy yourself. You do it because you want to be accepted by the other guys in the team, and you say, watch. Oh my God, they're drinking it. Oh my God. It's a prank, right? It's a prank. It's a horrible prank.
really bad.
It's a bad prank.
So the whole team was suspended. They said, "You're no more games until we figured this out," and they're still, I believe, as of like yesterday, they're still suspended.
He admitted it. I guess somebody
You have to.
Somebody probably ratted on him.
If all your other teammates are getting punished by not getting to play, you have to cop to it.
Satan's blowfish. Is Ben defending the peer?
No, I'm just saying. I just wondered how it got discovered. But you're right. He's the one who he told his own teammates, and the word just got out.
I mean, what is the good of a prank?
If
you just do it, you don't tell anybody, right? You're like, oh, it's for my own
can you keep a
self-satisfaction.
secret that only you know?
Yeah, I can.
I mean, not just you and one other person. I'm talking about only you know, and
Sure.
you'll just keep it for the rest of your life.
Sure.
Never let it be known.
Sure. Can you?
Yeah.
But this is one.
But I'm also not 16 anymore.
Right, man. I mean, God, 16-year-olds do dumb stuff. As with the father of two boys, and I'm just a wreck about
Not
it.
even like your therapist, who's like legally obligated to keep all your secrets.
I
You
don't
still
tell my
keep
therapist
secrets.
everything.
You
No.
keep secrets from your therapist.
Of course. Of course. Who doesn't?
It's kind of beside the point. Then
Not really. It's
not getting.
It's
the
not. You don't have
full-
to go in and vomit everything that's ever happened wrong in your life or everything
You
you've
want them
done.
to get a true picture of who you are and help you the most. So
She
aren't
gets
you-
enough. Trust me. She gets enough. She gets plenty. There's plenty of clay to mold. Okay, plenty of clay to mold.
I mean, you're very open with the audience.
Yes.
You're very open with the two of us.
Yes.
I can't even imagine what your secrets might be at this point. I mean, from the stuff that I actually hear, and there are actual secrets beyond the stuff that you're just absolutely willing to tell everybody. This is kind of scary now.
I think it's mostly, honestly, it's probably mostly like, I don't even know if there's like events. There's things I'm ashamed of that I haven't said, like, hey, when I was 24, I did this. But like,
But you've said a
there's
lot of
nothing-
things you're
nothing-
ashamed of. You
nothing
admitted
like
to a lot of it.
there's nothing like criminal or
Right.
anything, but it's just things that you think about. You're like, God, that guy was the worst.
It's not like you're lying either. You're just choosing not to
Yeah.
divulge certain information.
Which everyone should be able to do that.
Yeah. There's no dead bodies. There's no
Good.
there's no
Good.
breaking of the law. Anything like
I mean, you've admitted to all your
Yeah.
legal transgressions, I think.
for sure. But like, man, I don't need to share everything that I feel remorse about in my whole life. We don't have enough time, There's not enough time in the day. Therapist Sam in the chat says, can only help based on what we know. Like I said, there's plenty from a day-to-day basis that she gets to work with.
One of my favorite parts about Tuesday is that just about every single week on Tuesdays, every team in baseball has a game today. In fact, our first game is coming up in just about 30 minutes over on the East Coast. We've got the Yankees and Tigers.
It was supposed to
at
be a night game,
10:10.
but it was too cold to play at night, so they moved them all to the
It
day.
snowed in the middle of yesterday's game. It was not good.
Yeah. Tarek Skubal gets the ball for Detroit, and he's not going to be facing one Cody Bellinger today. Cody Bellinger has been scratched from the lineup, And according to reports, Aaron Boone said he was throwing up all night, which is scary.
I'd throw up too if I was a lefty and had to face Taylor School. I'd be like, I don't feel very good, bro. Oh, my stomach. Oh.
It says here that nobody else on the team is sick, according to Aaron Boone's best knowledge. But so it sounds like the primary suspect for Bellinger being out is that he ate some bad chicken wings last night.
Okay.
Food poisoning. Out for today.
Again, I'm calling I think it's the Tarek Skubal effect.
You shouldn't have let the Rio Rancho High School Junior Varsity baseball team make you chicken wings.
Well, I'm telling you, man. I've never gotten sick from chicken wings, but if I've eaten something,
You absolutely can, though.
Yeah.
I mean, undercooked chicken is an
Undercooked.
absolute health hazard.
I feel like I've rolled the dice on that a couple times too. And went, this looks a little pink, but I ate it anyway.
My wife's currently going through the massive training because she's now the manager of the kitchen. Where she already had to do the food safety class, but this is so she can train everybody else and getting really into the depths of making sure. It's good to know that they make restaurants do that they take food safety very seriously.
Would hope so.
Yeah.
And then finally, this is one of my favorite stories I have ever found. Those geniuses in China are working on installing escalators on mountains so that anybody that wants to hike them without having to actually hike
the best thing I've ever
can
heard.
enjoy the peaks and the mountaintops.
Mountain climbing without any actual
It's
work.
It's the best thing I've ever heard.
Sign me the F up.
Sign me up.
Right now, they are installing actual escalators on mountains, and you can just ride right on up to the top, see everything, and then head right back down when you're done.
That's amazing.
It's the greatest invention of all time.
I think the longest escalator I've ever been on is the one at Universal Studios. You know that one that goes
it's
from
been so long since I've been.
It goes from the top to the bottom of Universal Studios, the really long one, but they're fun. But this one is it's like a series of 6 or 7 looks like.
It almost looks like a gondola, like a ski lift.
Yeah.
But it's an escalator. And
Oh,
I guess
God, that looks good.
The reaction's been pretty mixed. Some say this is great. Everyone can be included now. You can be 80 years old in a wheelchair. You can go up to the top of a mountain.
That's who I was thinking of, Paulie. Certainly not myself.
Yeah. You could be a 49-year-old radio host that thought, man, I always wanted to hike Iron Mountain, but that's just too many miles for me.
It's like this. Look.
Now, what happens when you get to the top and then the escalator all of a sudden breaks down? Because they break down all the time.
As long as you're at the top, it's fine. Walking down is
walking
easy.
down.
But
if it's broken on the way up, you just don't go up.
KG said this is why they call Americans fat. Here's the thing, bro.
This is China.
I know.
We didn't
Number
come
one,
up with this idea.
But of course, Americans are celebrating it. But here's the thing. I was in Colorado a couple weeks ago. It was really cool to get to the top of the mountain real fast and ski down real fast. If I had to walk my ass up the mountain to ski down, I'd never ski.
I bet skiing was not popular before. Before chairlifts were invented, and you had to.
So you say that
climb your way up.
So we go to the top of Telluride Mountain, and I looked at my father-in-law. I go, "What are they doing? Why is everyone taking their skis off?" He goes, "Oh, you see up there? They're going to hike up there and then ski down that." And he goes, "There's no chairlift here. It's actually technically out of bounds, and so they're not covered, whatever." And I said, well, "Why are there little kids doing it?" He goes, "Oh, it's little kids do it all the time, and adults." We were on the lift with a guy. He goes, "Yeah, it's my first time hiking up whatever they call it, the Devil's Butt Beehole or whatever, whatever the dumb name it is, Devil's
Ski
Anus."
slopes all come up.
Yeah. I'm going to do Devil's Anus today.
Sounding
but
names.
it's an hour and a half hike up there, and I go, "Bro, there is no way, no chance
for 4 minutes coming back down."
Yeah, for 4 minutes coming back down. And imagine every time you wanted to ski, you had to friggin' walk up to the top of the mountain and ski. So I think it's a great idea. I'm all in.
Hey, if you still want to hike, you can still hike.
Yeah, nobody's telling you can't hike, tough guy. You can still go up and hike that mountain if you want to.
Is anybody afraid of escalators? My wife's actually fears them.
Not even a little. Love them. Love them. Absolutely.
She'll when we go to the airport, she'll go around to the elevator, even though the escalator is right there. And
I love the walking.
Does not like unless she has
moving
to.
sidewalk.
Like a speed pad.
The walking, moving walkway
Denver,
is so great.
Denver Airport. Hannah and I were just I was like, I'm going 45
I know,
miles
you're
an
just
hour.
walking and you just
I'm
feel
like,
like,
move! It's not a
"Whoa!"
ride.
And
Move
then-
over.
And then you hit the end, you kind of run off.
Yeah, you run
because
off. Oh, it's the
so
best
fast.
feeling of all time, dude. It's so good. I think it's great. I love this. I would definitely go see more mountains if there were escalators. I've always said, too, surfers are going to get so mad at me. I'm so jealous of what you do. You guys know how I feel about surf culture. I'm so into it, but I'm not athletic in that sense. I've done it a couple times. I've stood up on the board. The hardest thing ever was the paddling out to get to the right spot. Then you would get out
want
there.
a chairlift for
Not a
surfers.
chairlift, like a somebody
tow rope.
tow me
A
out
tow
there.
rope,
Yes. So I've said it before. I would paddle out at like Tamarack or Moonlight or something. I'd paddle out and I'd be like, and I'm finally in the spot I need to be. And then I'd see all the surfers. Oh, they're looking, and then they get on their board and they start paddling another quarter mile. And I'm like, I just got out here. I'm like, so that means no waves are coming here. So I think for novice people, there should be a novice beach where they tow us out and then let us try to learn, because that's the hard part, is standing
I think
up.
it's
on
called the wave
board.
house.
It is a wave house, but like,
But you want to be in the ocean too.
yeah, I'd love being in the ocean. I think it's so fun, but it's
just like a rope, and you hold on,
and
with
they
that, and it just
whee,
pulls
they
you all
pull
the
you
way
out there, and then
you
they
turn
say,
around,
"All right,
you
there's a good
surf
spot."
on
You
in.
turn around, surf in, and then do it. I would surf all day. I think it'd be so fun. But the paddling out is so hard. It's so hard to do.
I mean,
but it's part of the whole experience.
Do
I get
people
it.
like climbing mountains though, just for the view at the top?
No,
or is it
it's
more
the
for the
challenge.
sense of accomplishment?
I
don't
like
get-
the view.
You don't get a sense of accomplishment if you go up an escalator to the top of the mountain. You get to enjoy the view, but you have no.
I do.
You don't get to put the "I climbed a mountain" sticker on your bumper of your car. if you
I
go up
went
an
to the top
escalator.
of Everest. they dropped you off at the top on a helicopter.
You have to actually get up there yourself to have the sense of accomplishment.
There's like a little merch stand at the top.
I feel like a sense of accomplishment is overrated. I really do. I feel like it's overrated. I want to see the views. ADM says it's both. Work hard for a great view. Have an IPA at the top. Yeah. I hiked in.
Fine, I'll take the escalator. No IPA. No celebratory
Deal.
IPA.
Yeah, we'll make a deal. I won't even take any pictures up there. How about that? Since I didn't earn my way up there. There's a lot of people that are into that. I think that's amazing. I'm in awe of you. But I'm not wired that way. Steve Davis, this is a good point. He says, I'm deterred from the ocean by not knowing surfer protocol. 1 billion trillion %. It is it can be quite terrifying out there. You
And
don't
they
know
do that on purpose. I mean, they don't want
me and you and Paulie
people
out there.
messing up the waves, so
No.
they make it somewhat intimidating. A lot of places do. Covering a Major League Baseball team, make it very intimidating
It's
when you
true.
go down there. It's
That's
like
true.
you don't know the protocols. You'll get shamed. You gotta know what you're doing before you kind of dip your toes in those waters sometimes.
The surf protocol, like knowing, that this guy's also paddling for the same wave that I'm paddling for. Who gets it? The guy on the inside? What's the inside?
It's an ocean.
Is he on
How's
my
there an
left?
inside and
Or
an
is he-
outside of an ocean?
Am I on the inside? If he's on my right, I just don't know. And I'm kind of with you, Steve.
It's not a four-way intersection.
No.
which I still can't do
How
either.
about this? How about preach communication? How about this? Hey, buddy, I'm going to grab this one. Is that cool? Yeah, sounds good to me. No, that could never happen. They would never let that fly out there, I don't think. It's really intimidating. And see, Orthodox says it depends. If it's a right-handed wave or left. Hooderat said whoever is closest to the peak. Bro,
What's a peak?
What's a peak? How does that look?
What's a right-handed wave? What are we doing? What are we talking about?
It's so scary, man. It's
Like
so
I've only
scary.
gone surfing like 3 or 4 times in my life, and the last time was like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I do remember though one of those times, like looking out, getting to the beach, looking out, and going, "Nah, it's too many people." And like walking all the way down. I'll lug my surfboard down and
1,000%.
get away. I want to be by myself or with my buddy or whatever. Like I don't want anything to do with you people that know what you're doing and will judge me and get mad at me and laugh at me.
Yeah. You should have an order. Hey, buddy, this is yours. All right, you're next. All right, you're fourth, you're fifth. It's
Alex says peak is the highest point. Yes, we get
I know
that,
what a peak is,
But most waves are, I mean, it's an ocean and you're kind of roiling and, the top is fairly flat along. I don't know that I'd be able to identify where the peak specifically is.
it's panic inducing. You're already in the ocean on a board at
The whole time I'm wondering if there's a shark below me.
yeah, at 250 pounds, knowing I'm probably going to eat S after this anyway. There really needs to be novice beach. There really needs to be. Like, this is for beginners.
I do
only.
think that
like
they
a bunny hill and
A bunny hill,
the
yeah.
surfers do know, like, is more advanced. I mean, you're not
there's places you don't
go to the
paddle
North
out.
Shore of Hawaii for your first ever surfing experience.
Some people have.
Oh, they should.
It's not smart. Yeah, I wish so much that I was into it and could do it. But I think I'd feel better suited on the bunny waves right now. I'd like to get you out on the water. When was the last time you were in the ocean?
A few years.
Few dozen years?
No, it's probably.
What'd you do?
4 or 5 years.
Swimming?
Ago. Yeah, just walk out to the,
how deep?
Your waist. Waist deep. Jump in the wave once or twice. Oh yeah, when we went to Hawaii 2 years ago, we were in that ocean. But here, ocean's probably been 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Water's colder here.
Thanks, boys.
All right, we got the Brighton Sopranet show is coming up next. We will rejoin you on Wednesday morning, tomorrow at 6 a.m. for executive producer Paul Reindl and Stephen Woods. I'm Ben Higgins. Have a great rest of your Tuesday from all of us at San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan. So long, everybody.